I'm so excited for you. So excited.
Comes back with Dima in front of him. McCarty cross. McCarty in. McCarty stops. He knocks it to go. Down McCarty.
What's up, guys? Yes, some boys and girls, this is The Hook. Yes, Woodward Sports, all digital network here in Detroit. I'm Darren McCarty to my right. Sorry, Maz. Tom Mazaway to my left, out of the penalty box. You know why? Because Art Smith sucks at betting, so I need him right close to my left hand. As always, fish in the fish bowl. Adam behind the ones and twos today, and we want to say, Pilar, we miss you. Bunch of things going on around here. Better safe than sorry, so I'm going to do my best job. Doing my best Pilar impersonation, even though I do not look like her. Anyways, gentlemen, we're going to start this off. Maz, let's start with the sports update.
All right, Mac, brought to you by MyBookie. As always, use the promo code Woodward to get 50% of your initial deposit up to $1,000. And don't forget My Perfect Bracket. We'll tell you about it. We'll tell you how to get the perfect bracket. Coming up, Michigan, Gonzaga, Illinois, and Baylor. They are your 4 number 1 seeds in this year's NCAA tournament. The Illini, of course, win the Big Ten tourney. They beat Ohio State, pesky Buckeyes, in overtime. Great basketball over the weekend. Michigan played their hearts out. I mean, of course, missing Isaiah Livers. They missed Franz Wagner down the lane, down the last few minutes. And they hung in there. They could have won that game. Mike Smith throws up a 3-point prayer. They could not get a better play than that, but they played to win, which I liked.
But to that point, Maz, and to sort of slow you down here a little bit, but Mike Smith, that last play where all of us watched, took it down to the wire. It was one of those, oh, okay, I see what he's going to do. He's going to go for the last shot. Now, I don't, not being the basketball guy that much, but you would think down 2, it'd be more of a drive the lane than it would be pull back 3. But he got a great look.
They were down 1.
But he got a great look. Did you like the look he got? Did you like the play? Where are you on the?
Well, Wagner, they took him out of the play. Wagner was on the bench, and they took Hunter Dickinson out of the play. So everyone was covered. Ohio State played blanket defense. They dared Smith to shoot it. He shot it, and they lost. They still get a number 1 seed, not the number 1. It goes to Gonzaga, who remains unbeaten, by the way. And this is how it shakes out. Michigan with the number 1 seed in the East Regional, and they will have the winner of Mount St. Mary's and Texas Southern. Those teams play on Thursday. The winner plays Michigan on Saturday. That is a 3 o'clock game. MSU, by the way, gets in. They're an 11 seed, but they're playing for the 11 seed because they have a playing game against UCLA on Thursday night. It's the night game of the 4 playing games. The winner of that game will move on, and they play BYU on Saturday. How about this? The Spartans and the Wolverines in the same bracket. They can meet in the Elite 8 if they win a couple of games each. So I don't know. I think there's a shot at it. We'll find out if they can do it. By the way, I'm beating Gonzaga 6 wins away from being the first unbeaten team to win the championships in the 76. Indiana Hoosiers did it. And who did they beat? I'm going to test you, Mac. Who did they beat? Indiana in 76.
State?
Michigan. They beat the Wolverines.
That was close.
You close.
They beat the Wolverines.
You give me that, Art?
I'll give you that.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, now I'll show you. Hey, close is only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Well, guess what? I'll show you a little something later that's not true.
Who won the cup in 76 then?
Montreal.
Well,
that's easy.
You went into his wheelhouse.
But no, Art, that's easy because if you said any in the 70s, Montreal won most of every year in the 70s.
Until the Great Islanders.
Well, that was the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Back in my day.
Yes, back in my day.
Don't ruin my love.
That's it.
4 on the aisle, baby. That's all I can say. A couple of coaches fired this afternoon, folks, in the Big Ten. Indiana, they let go of their guy, Archie Miller. He's sent packing. Minnesota gives Richard Pitino the pink slip as well. So 2 jobs available. How about the Tigers? They're hosting the Jays right now in Lakeland. I'll get you the score, but I think you have an update to that game, don't you, Mac?
Well, I do have an update from the governor's office, right? And what do I always say here? And it's the same thing as where I said about hashtag let them play. It's about an answer. Well, the governor's office, let me read you this, because 1,000 fans is just 2.4% of Comerica Park's official capacity of 41,083. From the governor. From the beginning of the pandemic, our top priority has been the health and safety of Michiganders. In the lead up to the opening day, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services has been in close discussion with the Tigers and the team at Comerica Park to find a safe path forward to expand capacity limits at the stadium. Given our success during the pause to save lives and expansion of vaccine eligibility, we feel confident that our state is making tremendous strides to get back to normal as quickly as possible. There's nothing more exciting than fans rooting for the Tigers at a home game, and we look forward to making that happen soon. She didn't say anything. She didn't say anything.
April 1st, 1,000 fans.
That's my birthday, Governor, please. It's the 49th birthday. 1,001 people? I mean, like, ridiculous, Maz, because you know what? Here's the ridiculousness, and now I'll calm down because it's making that a joke. But in all reality, outdoors, 1,000 people, Comerica, yet Motor City Casino, MGM, whatever, they allow 3,000 people inside. The math doesn't make sense.
No.
Common sense doesn't make sense. And, you know, I guess if you're one of the lucky ones, have fun, but maybe it'll change.
I got another note from the Tigers. Remember when they traded for Miguel Cabrera? That big trade.
What year was that?
What is it, 90s?
See, I got Maz right
2001.
Right, exactly. So
No, 2001 is when he signed with the Tigers. Let's see, 2007, 2008.
Okay, nice.
That was the trade.
It was.
All right, the kid's name is Frankie De La Cruz. He was the Tigers' top prospect at that time. Great relief pitcher. He's one of the guys that gets traded along with Cameron Maben, who was their top guy at that time, and Andrew Miller, who became a terrific pitcher as well. So those three guys, a couple other minor leaguers, went to the Marlins for Miguel Cabrera. He passed away today at the age of 37. He had a heart attack in the Dominican Winter League today. So
he was playing in the Winter League,
yeah,
and
he was
had a heart
playing in the
attack?
Winter League, and he had a heart attack. He has passed away. Frankie De La Cruz, 37 years old, man.
Wow,
So
I mean,
just-
that leads into speaking of guys that passed away, and I know you're a huge fan. And later
time.
on in the show, Kevin Iole, who is the Yahoo boxing writer,
And MMA, yep.
and MMA, we're gonna have him on to talk about Marvelous Marvin Hagler, who you gotta love. They weren't using Marvelous Marvin Hagler in his name, so he legally changed his name to Marvelous Marvin Hagler, which is a beauty. But we'll talk to Kevin a
He
little
was
bit
something,
later in the
man.
show.
He was something. Wings lost to Carolina over the weekend. Anthony Mantha with the breakup of the shutout with 9 seconds to go. Canes lead the Central with 41 points. They get a rematch tomorrow here at LCA. Pistons on a 3-game losing streak. They're home tonight. They host the Spurs. Spurs are given 3.5. The over/under at 218.5. They'll tip it up at 8 tonight. That's a late tip from Little Caesars Arena. NFL news. You heard it. Break yesterday. 42-year-old Drew Brees finally calls it quits. He announces his retirement, but he waited 20 years to the day he was drafted by the San Diego Chargers in the second round. I mean, the guy knows his history. He decides to hang it up, and boy, did he overachieve, because no one thought this guy was going to make it. NFL leader in passing yards, over 80,000. All-time, second all-time in touchdown passes to 571. Tom Brady's going to have those records, but this little guy got those records. 2-time Offensive Player of the Year, 13-time Pro Bowl, and, of course, a champion in 2009 with the Saints, who now have Taysom Hill as their quarterback and a free agent in Jameis Winston.
Yeah, now he's going to be an announcer for NBC Sports, which
That's
is
right.
great. I love seeing when the legends, like you've got Tony Romo, now you got Drew Brees. I love seeing the legends of the sports really hang on to what they have and express, what needs to be said from an athlete's point of view.
You use legends pretty loosely there with Tony Romo, didn't you? Drew Brees is a legend,
come on.
but here's the thing.
Romo was very good, but he
Yeah.
wasn't a legend.
But do you enjoy Romo?
I love him.
See,
I
but
love Romo's
ma-
commentary.
Romo's mailed it in to me the last few years, because when he used to break it down, the
yeah.
plays beforehand, as who didn't play football,
point.
I love that.
Yeah, but he's not getting drunk on the job like Joe Buck. I mean, come on. There's levels
Joe
to
Buck's
it.
not
Hey,
getting
you know
drunk.
what I love? I love when I'm talking about one person and somebody else brings up somebody else. Irrelevant.
Deflecting. You're welcome.
No. But Tony Romo, when he breaks it down, like I hope Drew Brees does as the quarterback. But let's talk about Drew Brees here for a minute, because I think he deserves a little bit of that respect, because he isn't like a normal athlete in a city. He's a special athlete. And what do I mean by that? You look at what, after Hurricane Katrina and everything happened, what that Super Bowl meant to that city, but he's bigger than that. And the biggest thing that I loved, if you check out Drew Brees' Twitter, is his kids, all four of them, who we've watched grow up in front of us, even to the conference finals game. You remember the Tom Brady having a conversation with Drew and throwing the ball to his kids
trying to make me like him. It didn't work.
Well, it doesn't matter, Maz. You and Joe Buck, Tom Brady, doesn't matter. Drew Brees, this is awesome because he went out his own way, and now it makes sense as far as why he waited, right? So this tells me that the New Orleans Saints knew exactly what he was going to do. Does this change the fact that they're going to go with Taysom Hill moving forward? Because I don't think he's the answer for New Orleans Saints. But congratulations to be able to do that and on your own, because Drew Brees to me epitomizes what do you put in to get out, and the proverbial underdog, but say what you want, he's got the stats to prove it.
And think about this: he's won one Super Bowl, was a play away from getting in two other Super Bowls just the last couple of years, 2 out of the last 3 years. Remember those plays that Stephon Diggs was one play, another penalty at the end of the game was another play that keeps the Saints out of the Super Bowl and possibly winning those games. So hats off to Drew Brees. And how about the Lions stepping it up today? They got our guy. They re-signed Romeo Okwara. He gets a 3-year deal worth $39 million, 10 sacks, and 4 forced fumbles. Guess who's going to talk to us a little bit later about this? Joique Bell will join us. Joique Bell.
Are you serious?
You can't have a day off from Joique, baby. You cannot have a day off.
He's going to have to raise his hand before he talks.
Absolutely.
Well, he's going to be on video. He's going to be on video.
Yeah, he better raise his hand before he gets on that VMix call.
Hey, you know what I hate, Art? Is when you get Baligian and Bell mixed in with the hook. This is the hook. And if you cannot separate the hook from what goes on in Baligian and Bell, then you know what? We might not only have to remove you from going from fourth line to the power play, we'll put you back in the penalty box or maybe outside.
Listen, I'm already retracting.
I don't know what you guys got going on between 11 and 1.
Let me just
say. Okay, so leave that stuff out of here right now.
That's fine.
You got something else to say?
Yes, I would like to retract my statement saying that Tony Romo was a legend. I'm just saying he's a good commentator. You don't see Matthew Stafford commentating. Get off my ass in the comments.
Matthew Stafford's still playing.
Yeah, and
he just got us. But he just got us some draft choices and everything like that.
I forgive you, Art, because I like Romo.
Thank you. I like Romo too.
And let's go to this day in sports to wrap up this segment. Let's go to March 15th, 1988. I got a little picture for you. The St. Louis Football Cardinals. That's right. They used to play in St. Louis. They officially moved to Phoenix, Arizona.
What year? What date?
1988.
88. Who was the quarterback at that time?
Neil Lomax.
Neil Lomax. Wow, Maz, that is awesome. See how I throw that right to him? Boom, 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 boom.
Neil Lomax, who was terrorized by Lawrence Taylor for many years and probably shortened his career.
Who did Lawrence Taylor not terrorize?
Between Jaworski and Lomax, those were his two prize pigs. No question.
I love it. Hey, but you know what, Art? We might disagree on... I agree Romo's good when he talks quarterback. We might disagree here and there, but what can we agree on? D. Hall?
Yeah, D. Hall. That's right. Perfect Bracket is here. Woodward Sports, Hart Financial. Want to pay off your mortgage? I wonder if they would pay off my trailer. Like, if I won, would they pay off my trailer?
They might even buy you a new one.
Oh, dreams do come true. Go to the website, make your bracket today. Hall Financial can pay off your house up to $500,000 if you guess the perfect bracket. So visit woodwardsports.com to play right now. The bracket is up. You can make your picks. And if you don't get a perfect bracket, still got awesome prizes for you, like a PS5, 65-inch TV. One of my favorites, a Detroit Made Shinola watch from our friends at Bridge Street Exchange, and a Topgolf gift certificate from our friends at Grow Green. We even got something for you. If you don't have a toilet in your trailer, you can win a toilet. Perfect bracket. Visit at woodwardsports.com.
I know a guy who can install it.
And speaking of a toilet, my bathroom is being demoed today as we speak. My 1950s pink bathroom in St. Clair Shores being demoed by Haas and the guys. So take it easy, guys. And I had a good run on that toilet. I got to be honest with you. I had a good run.
Time to fill out your bracket, Maz. So it doesn't matter. All right, when we come back here, we're going to take a little break. But D-Mac. Oh, yeah, baby. We've got some bragging to do when we come back here on The Hook.
Hey, Joey, are the cookies ready?
Uh-huh.
Joey! Why
is one missing?
I walked on the floor.
Joey, open your mouth.
Dang it, I got busted, but that was so worth it. I'm here at Crumble Cookies off of Rochester Road, right by the Imagine Theaters, and I'll tell you, these are the best cookies I've ever had in my entire life. I am not exaggerating, so come try them out. Free cookie day this Friday.
Welcome back to The Hook, Woodward Sports, Detroit's all-digital network.
I
Here,
forgot to
Darren
play music.
What?
I forgot to play music coming back.
You know what? You're too busy yelling at Adam for not pulling up your picture. You know what? We're working at Pilar. We miss you, Pilar.
boy.
She's not here. She's watching. We got Art out of the sin bin. See how nice I am? Bring Art up here. Maz, obviously. Now, guys, I was telling you a little bit before. I do, like I told you out there, right? I'm not really into the sports bets. I have Maz. He says, well, pick hockey, this and that. And I'm like, you got to ask me the game. And then there's my expertise. But you know what I am good at. It's those Wednesday golf bets and those Friday NASCAR bets. And what do I mean by that? Well, let me just take you back to what I picked Wednesday and Friday. Okay, well, there they are right there. As you can see, the $10 bet with Spieth up there made us $24 a plus $14. What you didn't see me do. Now, you see the Shoffley Cantley bets, right? But what you didn't see me do, which you can move it, Adam, to the next. Oh, here we go.
First or last, baby, you know.
Well, I mean, I
So
wake
we
up in the
can't-
morning, I piss excellence.
You can turn that up, music volume up, or God so we damn, can hear it or
no?
you
Look at
and
that.
me
This is
both,
you.
baby.
Can we get a
But
volume
you know
or no?
what? This
Go ahead,
week,
Fitz.
ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go back to last week. We did not have Kyle Larson to win, which was his first win since coming back from a potty language bad racial slur during the COVID. But congratulations to him. I did have the second, third, and fifth place cars. Now, remember, I told you last week, but I will reiterate. Anyways, as you can see on screen there, which is more important than my hair or anything else, which is looking pretty good in,
It was
in that
looking
picture.
good.
But the 19, Martin Truex Jr., ladies and gentlemen, plus 1,000 Art, plus 1,000. I turned that 5 right into 55. But what I didn't show you guys is because if you make these early bets like I did with the Spieth
Well, we
bet,
got a video of that.
a video of what?
Don't we have a video that I took him?
Yeah, technically, Maz, we do, but it didn't make it. But what we do have is this other bet, Adam. Can you show that bet slip of yesterday's, what I did with the $10 we won off Spieth? Yes, for the final round, Justin Thomas. So I turned that 10, right, into 57. So if you go back to the math page with all the writing on it, if you followed me, it's a plus 106 weekend, or if you just followed the golf bets, you made $4, or you're up $44. To my point, guys, which follow me on golf bets and follow me on NASCAR bets, but that's not the point. The point of the whole matter is that anybody who knows me, and I brought this up before, is that I'm one of those sick mother effers that watches people play slot machines. Now, if you're a slot player yourself, there's the golden goose or the horseshoes and hand grenades where you come close. Why this is so important, and I would love to hear back from you. Tweet us in on the Twitter at Woodward Sports, YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, tickety-tockety. You know what? Download the apps everywhere. It doesn't matter, because if you're a slot player, D-Mac is going to show you. So I took that $106, and I love the slots. And I went over and look at what I did. Right there on the screen.
There you go.
Is the 90 cents. I took the 106, turned it into 947. But what I want you to see there, Art, do you see that? When they say close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, that's wrong. That's the closest perfect screen for the Wilds. I think it gave me 760 games or something like that.
When was this?
This was yesterday.
Wow, it's so crazy that Mads, did you get a text?
No.
Oh, that's weird. I guess we got to win in NASCAR to get a text to go to D-Max Casino. I am proud. That's a huge win.
Art,
Congrats.
you'd never be invited. Can you see? Because here's my segue, guys. Here's my segue. D-Max, so I was able to not only, if we stick to the bets or whatever, make a profit for the last 2 weeks betting golf and NASCAR. And why do we do that? Because I just have done the rest of it. Surrendered to the rest of it, whatever. But this is fun. Now, What's the worst part? So that's the best part of $10 I did for the weekend. You know what the worst part of $10 I did for the weekend? Well, I'm going to go over to the Art of Combat and let him stick up for himself as he lets you in on what happened in the MMA this week. So Art, I almost made 1,000.
Yeah. I know.
What did you do with our $10?
Well, okay, so here's the deal. Courtney Casey, JJ Aldridge, Saturday night, UFC Fight Night 187. I'm a huge Courtney Casey fan because she's a great striker. What did JJ Aldridge do? She decided to takedowns. She had 4 takedowns in the fight. She won via split decision. So I will admit, as a man, I screwed up. I gave you the wrong bet once again. By the way, do you got $10 I could hold? And on top of that, though, what really irks me about this pick is that she didn't win through a knockout. She didn't win through a submission. She didn't win through decision. A split decision by the hair on her teeth, whatever the stupid saying is, regardless.
Hair of her chinny chin chin.
Hair of her chinny chin, by the skin of her teeth.
I don't think she probably has hair on her chinny chin.
Listen, regardless, I lost you $10. I'm sorry. You clearly made up for it on casino night without myself and without Maz. Congratulations.
Absolutely, because do you know what mush is? You're a mush.
I'm a giant mush
He's
pile
a mush.
right now.
Put him in the closet.
He's a mush.
Put him in the closet.
Absolutely. Anyways, so that's stick to it. I'll be doing my homework. Oh, and by the way, also too, remember last week I gave you long shot 2,000 plus 2,000 Patrick Cantley, throw a
For the
10 on it.
Masters. What's he down to?
Masters, I don't know what he's down to, but I threw another 10 on Justin Thomas for the Masters at plus
to come
1,100.
To come back to
well,
back.
you know what? Back to back, whatever else is, you got to go with the hot guy in a lot of ways.
Now, I bet Bryson DeChambeau, your guy.
Yep. I didn't bet him. No. He's my guy, but I didn't bet him this week, which is people are saying, why didn't you bet him? And you saw what happened on Sunday.
I saw him starting to die out, so if you're winning your bet, if your golfer's like in the top 5 and he has a chance to win, my bookie and other sites will give you a chance to bail out of your bet.
Yeah,
it's like a deal or no deal.
Yeah, cash
You
out.
want to take the cheap money now? So for my $5 that I had on him, they were offering me almost $15. So I cashed out on him, and he fell off the board. So I got all my money back for my 3 golfers.
That's a smart too, and also Maz, can you you were like Maz was letting me in on a little bit of you know what? I got to give Georgie Costanza Mazaway credit when he doesn't Costanza himself. Will you tell the fine folks at home and rub it into Art what you did Saturday night?
I had a good night Saturday night on basketball. First of all, I went with Illinois. I took them straight up because I want to get that in, and then I like Georgetown in the Big East against who'd they play? Creighton. So I took Georgetown plus 8.5. I took Illinois laying 5 or whatever the heck they were laying at that point. I bet them separate, and I bet them in a parlay. And then I had some guts, and I took Georgetown even, and they were getting almost 9 points, and I took Illinois even. I put them in a parlay. So I won some money on that. So I did really well on Saturday. I hit all 6 of my bets on Saturday.
You hit so well that when's the free lunch for the crew coming?
You know what?
I think we brought in pizza, but unfortunately it's not.
You guys do this all the time. Oh, we're getting pizza. Oh, sorry, it's got the glutens, Art. You guys do it on purpose.
But didn't I bring you gluten-free stuff the other day?
You did. I will say,
and you know what,
brought
Art?
me gluten-free
I
pretzels.
walked by yesterday. I don't know if people know this, but there's like these frosted strawberry Oreos, and then there's chocolate hazelnut now. The peanut butter pie are my favorite.
Oh.
But you know they have gluten-free Oreos? I looked right at them, said, Art would like these, and I walked by them. So they're on the shelf, gluten-free Oreos.
Thank you. My wife buys them for me all the time, and you're not my wife, so I don't need you.
I love it. I love it. Hey, you know what? We're going to get into some of this bracket. We're going to look it down. We're going to see Michigan gets the 1, doesn't get the 1 seed overall, but we're going to break down some of the matchups. Maz is hot on his weekend. I like it when you're coming off the weekend hot into your bracket picks, Maz. That's when you do your best.
I usually do well on these brackets. I want to tell that to you. I usually do pretty well.
You usually do. So we're going to find out what Maz has when we come back. Hey, guys, Darren McCarty here in Grow Green, the country's largest hydro store, buys in bulk and passes the savings on to you, the growers, or me, or you, or me, all of us. Looking for soil? They have over 1,000 pallets in stock, including Pro Mix, Dairy Dew, Roots Organics, and Fox Farm, all at the lowest prices in the state. Check out their dank deals for insane deals like bags of Ocean Forest for $8. That's a good deal. And gallons of Turpinator for just $50 to get that
The
taste.
Turpinator.
To get the taste out. Maz mentioned the hook. The show for a free t-shirt. Click growgreenmi.com. Tell them D-Mac sent you. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was Michigan gets their number 1 seed in the East Regional. They're going to play Mount St. Mary's, Texas Southern, winner on Saturday at 3.
Correct.
Do you know much about either St. Mary's or Texas Southern, Matt?
Back in the day, Mount St. Mary's was that high-scoring team. So it was. We'll see how it goes with these two guys. But Michigan should have no problem with them, even without Isaiah Livers. They should be fine. The rest of the team stepping up good, and there's going to be a new star because I really believe. I don't care that Livers is out. I do, of course, but I still think Michigan makes a deep run in this tournament. Juwan Howard, I believe in him. I believe that the kids will rally around him, and I would love to see an Elite Eight of Michigan State and Michigan. I like the Spartans to win their play-in game. Number 11, they're playing UCLA. Hell, man, if this was back in the day, UCLA and MSU, I mean, at the top of their game. The only reason these teams are playing in a play-in game, folks, is because teams like Oregon State, a nothing team, they win the Pac-12 tournament. Georgetown, a team that probably wouldn't have made the big dance, wins the Big East tournament. A couple of other upsets as well. So what happens is stuff falls down the line, and that's why Michigan State has got to play. And if you remember, I told you guys, I'm sticking with. I said I'm sticking with Michigan State. I said they'll probably play in a play-in game.
Here's my thing, though. When you look at Michigan and you look at Michigan State, in my opinion, when I see it, I see Michigan State as falling before Michigan. Maz, you seem pretty confident that they're going to make it all the way? You think that they have a chance to make it all the way, even to the Final Four, let's say?
Michigan?
Wow.
I do. I truly do.
No, Michigan State.
No, he's not. No.
Okay.
The Wolverines.
Okay. I just wanted to make it clear because it sounded at first, I was like, Michigan State, to me, they'll be lucky if they make it to the 16, if you ask me.
Well, they're going to have a tough game against UCLA. I think they win it. I think Izzo says we're going to win it in spite. Things like that. You can't do things like this to a guy like Coach Izzo. You can't. You can't make him play an extra game, kind of be, embarrass him a little bit. I think they're going to wipe the floor with UCLA on Thursday. And then Saturday, I feel sorry for BYU. I think they'll take BYU down as well.
Well, what it comes back to, the first interesting question is I got to call Griffin McCarty because he graduated from UCLA, and I got to find out my son who he's going to be cheering for. But you brought up two big points, Maz, that really hit me is and I don't want to say how far both programs have fallen, but it was just seemed recently that these were the teams that were playing
top of the game.
At the end of the Final Four or playing, the O'Bannons and all the guys that used to come out of there back in the day when Mateen Cleaves and stuff. But here's what it is, right? If you look at the way that Michigan went out and they lost without their best player, right? That, I think, will drive them and give them inspiration a little bit on what they have to do if they get down late in the game. Not coming through in the final seconds down a point might help them prevail. As far as the Spartans go, you're right as far as Maz it goes, as far as the inspiration, what Tom Izzo. But the difference is with the Sparty team is they're so inconsistent that you will know early on if they're going to be good or not. Because if they cannot hit a basket, this is a team that can go, and we've all watched it, but they can go a long time without scoring. So I think that Coach Izzo, right, he has this ability to bring guys to the level to raise them, right? But when they're inconsistent like they are, I don't know. I really don't know. You could be right, Maz.
The good news today is Michigan passed their first COVID test because these schools have to pass a COVID test before they get in the bubble. Once they pass they go into the bubble.
This bracket right
here,
this
could change.
It's going to change.
Well, let's take a quick look at it right here for a minute. Right?
Yeah, sure.
And if you look at obviously the number one seeds and stuff like this, but can you elaborate a little bit more, Maz?
Yeah.
Because this is the one thing that the selection committee had to deal with as far as what are you in COVID protocol? Have you had one? We mentioned last week about Duke. So, there's different scenarios how they could play out. Have they mentioned contingency plans?
Yeah, there's 4 teams that are. I got to get the 4 teams for you in order. There are 4 teams that are called the first 4 out. So those teams are on standby because if any of these other teams drop out, they get in.
A fairy tale situation, right?
Yeah.
One of those first 4 teams gets in.
Yeah.
Even if they make it to the final 4, that's a huge accomplishment.
Oh my
Even
God,
if they make
yeah.
it to the Elite 8, that's you at one point were sitting around, penciling around, playing video games. Next thing you know, you're getting back in.
It would be fun to see one of those teams get in. And you don't know how they could run. But Michigan is the number 1 seed in the East. But the number 1 overall seed, as we discussed, is that unbeaten Gonzaga team. And every guy on TV, I watched them all, Clark Kellogg, Davis, all the NBA, Dickie Vitale, everybody on ESPN as well, Greg Gumbel, they don't see Gonzaga falling. As a matter of fact, most of them pick Gonzaga to go off the sheet, stay unbeaten, and become the champion, the Gonzaga Bulldogs. So they are a heavy favorite. They're in the West. And in the East, you got Michigan. In the South, you got Baylor. And Illinois is the team that's going to be, to me, that's the team to beat.
That's your team
That's
right now?
my team to beat. Matter of fact, Illinois and Michigan, that would be a hell of a final. That would be a hell of a final.
That would be insane.
You know, and that's interesting, too, because the way that the brackets play out is that Michigan would face Gonzaga in the Final Four.
Yep.
Instead. So it could actually, Michigan has to technically go through Gonzaga and then Illinois or Baylor to win if it plays out that way.
Yeah.
So
2 top contenders. I mean, it's not going to be an easy run for Michigan. You know, Michigan State, if they fall out, you're like, it's not predictable, but it's like, I could see it happening. Michigan, they've got a tough race to get to even the Elite 8. Like, it's going to be a tough battle for them.
Only one number 1 has fallen in all these years, and it was against Virginia, UMBC.
That was recently,
Maryland, Baltimore,
too, wasn't it?
Yep. Maryland, Baltimore County. It was the Retrievers of UMBC. I love that team, and they pulled that huge upset over Virginia. Of course, Virginia made up for it a couple years later, of course, by winning the NCAA. So they got it back that way. But there's going to be upsets here, guys. There's not going to be a clean slate the first weekend. There's going to be a 1, 2, 3, or 4 fall. One of those top seeds, they're going to fall.
Well, the interesting thing, too, compared to this year, compared to the other years, is that are they truly where they're ranked because of the season, because of the preparation? So, you know, is a 10-team could be, you know, in a regular season, they might be a 3 or 4 seed that gets an opportunity. But a lot of it, too, I think we'll have to wait and see if there is a team. Because I would suspect that the way that it is, that somebody's going to come up with somebody that's not going to clear the bubble protocol, and it's going to throw a wrench in the plans. Hopefully this is all done and the preparation is before the playing games on Wednesday.
But the kicker is, once the tournament starts, there are no more exchanges. You
but
just
to me,
lose.
it makes it more exciting.
That becomes like a bye. So if you're playing a team and they're out, you advance.
But to me, it makes it more exciting because you don't know what's going to happen. Sure, you have the piece of paper that's got the bracket all over it and tells you what could happen. But let's be honest, we don't know how which team is going to get COVID, which team is going to, be able to stay in the bubble, which team is going to be an upset. This, to me, there's more implications if you're the winner and just like, wow, you made it through not only all those teams, but you made it through COVID times too. That's an accomplishment.
Absolutely. All right, Sam Fisher in the Fishbowl. What you got for me, boy?
Tuesday at 6 p.m. is the deadline.
Tuesday at 6 p.m.
Now, Fish, I got some work for you to do, and I should have had it here. I'm mad at myself. Find the 4 teams that are on the contingency plans, all right? And then tell us when you got them. I want to know the 4 teams that are waiting in the wings. They're just waiting. They're like on the 4 wallflowers on the back.
Wow.
And the guys got to go pick which girl to dance with, or what girl
Put me
is going to
in,
go over
coach.
to the
I'm
4
ready to
guys
play.
in the back.
Like-
Yep. Hey, you want to dance? Sure. Come on in.
Wow.
That'll be hilarious.
Well, that makes it interesting. Well, we got our best man, Fish, for that information, Maz.
I should have had it already. I'm mad at myself.
You know what though? Baby steps, baby steps. Why don't you? You know what? I think. Why don't you tell us a little bit about MyBookie and where the people can do that?
I can do that. Of course, MyBookie's got their own perfect bracket. It's not a perfect bracket, but it's fun. You can make some money. March Madness is here. MyBookie's offering a shot at a share of $10,000 with the My Bracket contest, and it's only a single dollar to get in. NBA tipping off every day. NHL as well. UFC. You can bet basically on anything with MyBookie. You got a choice of thousands of lines and prop bets. do like I did. Hit a couple of prop bets, hit a couple of parlays like I did on Saturday. Take that Georgetown getting 9.5. You never know. Pick them even. Get some good odds. Do yourself a favor. Get a head start. Sign up today with the promo code Woodward. They'll match your first deposit halfway up to $1,000. That's free cash. Right in your pocket. You don't have to do anything with it. You can even cash it out if you want. The best part is you always have access to mybookie.ag. Use the promo code Woodward. Get yourself that deposit bonus. It's bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
Thanks, D. Hall. Our buddy David Hall, and I know down there I saw a picture of him golfing with our boy Donnie Trosper for Metro Detroit Golfers, so shout out to those guys. We were talking about a bunch of things. Look at our man Fish. Maz, you had questions. I have answers. Fish, what do you got, bud?
First 4 out in this exact order: Louisville, Colorado State, St. Louis, and Ole Miss.
Wow. Got that, Maz? Which should, so we were just talking about the brackets. Everybody's get their bracket. Fill out your perfect bracket. Art, on Twitter, John said you could probably buy a whole trailer park if you won the perfect bracket.
$500K, I could buy the whole lot. I'll be charging people for rent.
He also said that, but you probably deserve the toilet more.
Yeah, hey, listen, I'll take whatever I could get. That Schnola watch is nice, but,
Hey, Fish, run those 4 by me again. Louisville, Colorado State.
St. Louis and Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, that's the one I miss. I would love to see Louisville was a team, they didn't get enough games in. And Dickie V was like, hey, baby, Louisville should have been there.
But listen,
but they didn't get enough games in.
Let me tell you something. When it comes to knowledge of brackets, I'm terrible at it. I'm always out. There is no excuse as to why you shouldn't fill out a bracket, though, because anything could happen. You could get lucky and win $500K. And could you imagine your house being paid off? And all you got to do is spend 5 minutes choosing a whole bunch of numbers and college teams. Even if you don't know them, just go by, I like that name. I'm going to go with that one. Fill it out. It's easy. It's free. You can win a whole bunch of stuff.
Art, how long have I known you? Like 3 months, and that's probably the smartest thing you've ever said.
Listen.
5 minutes to change your life. Fill out the bracket. Let's switch gears here, fellas, and talk a little NFL. Obviously, free agency is right here. We were talking
2 days
last
away.
week. 2 days away. Drew Brees just announced his retirement on the day, 20 years after he was drafted. The Lions re-signed Romeo Okwara for 3 years, $39 million. A couple other big names re-signing. Shaq Barrett got paid by Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The couple other signings.
This is a big one. This Patriots got themselves a tight end, Jonnu Smith, 4 years, $50 million. They signed him away from the Titans. And from what I understand, they're not done yet. They're still shopping around looking for a pass rusher. So New England's trying to retool. They signed Cam last week, and who knows what they're going to do?
Which, by the way, it's always interesting to see that these, you see 4 for 50, 4 for 48. It's always interesting to see what the guaranteed money is like for. Yeah. But when Bill Belichick is making moves and throwing money around, that jumps out because they spent money actually on a great tight end, so might be able to give Cam some help.
Well, this is a guy that kind of disappeared with Tennessee in the second half of the season. He was really hot in the beginning, got an injury. This will be a Pilar question because she would know the fantasy implications. But a tight end on the Patriots usually pays off dividends. Aaron Jones, great running back from Green Bay. We thought he was going to be a free agent. He re-signs with the hometown Packers, 4 years, $48 million. So Aaron Jones staying in the NFC North.
So let's talk about our Lions here because one of the things back when we were talking about the Lions not franchising Kenny Golladay, and the fact that were they going to franchise Okwara or what were they going to do, and they ended up re-signing him. I like this signing.
I love it.
I like the fact that, a guy's committed to be here. We need to start with some pieces, even though we're breaking down the foundation. And, Alpha, I call Dan, hey, I got a new name for him, Alpha Positive. He's the alpha positive right there. Dan Campbell coming in, but guys that want to be here, and I think you see more of that moving towards free agency. But this is an exciting time, and especially here in Detroit, to see which way this team goes.
Yeah, I think it's important to keep the pieces that work. Like you're changing out everything, and someone who, a Lions fan like me, don't get me wrong, I want a new quarterback, I want new everything, but if it's working, keep it. Why change it? Coming into the draft, we'll see what the Lions actually decide to do when it comes to who they're going to draft and what they're going to draft, but I think this was a great cape.
25 years old. The kid was coming into his own. 10 sacks last year. He's very active on the defensive line. 4 forced fumbles. You build around a guy like that, and he is a Lion. He stays a Lion. He wants to make this his home. Those are the people you want here. Those are the guys you want here.
You know what I was thinking of is stuff like this, because it's when you look back, and I always say, holy, is it opposite of the Quintricia era here now? Because it would be when you would bring up former Patriots or whatever, you'd almost start cringing after you saw it didn't work here, right?
Yeah.
But now the fact that all these that you hear about, he's got New Orleans ties, he played under here, no matter who you're talking about. You might be talking about Anzalone as a linebacker that was there. But all these guys, when you hear the buzz being that these guys are gravitating this way, just like you saw with the coaches, that's when culture is created. And it's such a different feeling for me. It's like I want the Anthony Lynn, when he's talking about like Terrell Williams, who had him with the Chargers, was the influence on him. Where does the coaching fall in with the players that they're either signing, re-signing, or whatever to give you the pathway? And I think that the direction that we're going is guys know what Dan Campbell's all about. They know what is expected of them, and they want to play for a guy like that. That's the accountability in reverse, right?
When was the last time that Lions fans have been this excited? I mean, let's be honest. Like, you have the Debbie Downers, you have the guys who are, we're going to go 0-16 again. Be optimistic. We have so much change happening.
We are optimistic.
No, I know you guys are,
positive.
but everybody knows.
No, we were positive we were going 0-16.
Well, yeah,
we were optimistic.
What I'm saying is this. It's so easy to be a Debbie Downer and just to say the Lions are going to suck, the Lions are going to suck. The season hasn't even started. We've made so many drastic changes that it's easier to be positive and hope for the best than to pray for the worst.
Here's the thing this year, right, which is different than before. Yes, we were positive, Maz. Positive that the shoe would fall. Positive that we would get lined. Positive that, there we go, Lions again. Refs would screw up, do whatever, right? The difference is that, wow, it's not a positive. It's actually, there's things being done. And there's actually, wow, we're making changes. Now, here's the thing, guys. This season, we're not going to win. But we're building towards something. And that's why I look downtown at all 4 teams and see what they're doing. And they might be building, one might be building a mansion, might be building a castle. The other might be building a nice little house. But every guy from Troy Weaver to Steve Eiserman, even Alavila, with what he's done, and, he's on the bottom of my GM.
That's for sure.
Pool, right? That's for sure, because he hasn't proved. But it's changed. The mentality has changed downtown. Now, but the first thing is, this season, the Lions, 4, 5, 6 wins realistically,
right.
maybe
more.
But it'll be the best 4, 5, 6 win season that we've enjoyed. Because why? Because we see the direction that it's going. And I believe that Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, not even just in free agency, with signings into the draft, we see direction. Just like I preach about the Wings direction with Steve Eisman, just like we see Troy Weaver walking in there with the Grim Reaper cane and just friggin' decimating the whole thing because it needs to be done. We're getting to the foundation because the last 5 years to 10 years in this sports city has sucked.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah,
has sucked. So now at least it's baby steps, and we will embrace, as Detroit fans, losing if it gets us to where we want to go. And this is the first time, that's the difference that you see, and this is the first time being a Lions fan that legitimately I see something that isn't smoke and mirrors.
Well, and the other thing is, too, is, you look at the Wings. They just beat Stanley Cup champs. I mean, it can happen. You get those little glimmer of hopes. Now, we're seeing it now with the Lions where you're seeing these sign-ons and you're seeing the coaching staff, and it's like, okay, we could say it's the same old Lions, or we could stop being the victim of instant gratification and realize that this is a process. This is going to take some time. You know, when you look at what the Wings are doing lately, sure, there's a lot of losses in there, but when I see them beat a Stanley Cup champ team, I'm like, okay, now imagine if the Lions do that. Imagine if the Lions, sure, in those 4, 5, or 6 wins, they beat a big team. They beat like a Tampa Bay. You're like, wait, we have a chance here. We need that chance and we need that hope, and I think it's going to happen this year.
We've beaten teams in the past. We've beaten big teams in the past, but it's meant nothing because it's just in a regular season and we're spinning our wheels, losing to worse teams than we are. But it just doesn't matter anymore. That's all slate. You wipe the slate clean. This is new. Dan Campbell comes in. You got your new GM. You have Chris Spielman. You have John Dorsey. You have a hell of a front office, and these coaches that they bring in like Deuce Staley and Anthony Lynn and so on and so forth. All these guys basically sliding over or taking less of a job to come here to Detroit to play for Dan Campbell is exciting. Yeah, we like him. He screams. He wants to bite your kneecap off. He's an alpha. We sell our T-shirt at the Woodward Sports Network store. Make sure you go there and check out that Dan Campbell alpha shirt. And we have the bite your kneecaps Wheaties box. So check those out as well. But that's what we're looking for here in Detroit. We're looking for this guy that came here. He's here now. And I think they just drafted him. It was like a day ago. It was the anniversary of them bringing him in as a free agent. When they signed him as a free agent, just a couple of days ago was the anniversary for that. So, we take our hat off to him. Romeo Okwara, I'm glad you're staying here. Who knows? Who knows who's next? We'll see where they tap next.
But that's the interesting thing is because before it didn't used to be a destination, but it's something that if you can sell on what's coming in the future, right? We're begging to make the playoffs here for years, just begging to play a playoff game. I believe that when they structurally get this correct, we will be playing playoff games year after year.
Could you imagine?
Just like we talk
about the olden days when we made it to a playoff. Could you imagine year after year after year we're at least making it to the playoffs? I mean, that would light Detroit up. That's what we need right now more than ever.
Well, that's what we're doing right now. That's all we're doing here at Woodward Sports. I'm Darren McCarty, Tom Mazaway, Art Smith. We miss you, Pilar. This isn't permanent. This is just. This is just, I don't know if I can deal sitting beside Art without going off. So, one of the things, Maz, that you'll be interested in, Matthew Judon, the edge rusher from Baltimore, just signed 4 years, $66 million with the Pats.
So he did.
Yep.
That's the guy they were looking at.
Yep.
So they just made that official.
So what it makes, right, which New England isn't really a splash team to me in the free agency market, but this is Bill Belichick showing me that Tom Brady's win in the Super Bowl bothers him a little bit more than you think.
Right, man.
But you have to look at it like that. So who does Belichick, right? So Brady and Belichick, they're one of the only people that they can compare themselves to, right? So to push each other. So if this forces Bill to maybe, check it back because, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit against his ego. Maybe this is what you're seeing from it. If you're a Pats fan, maybe you get a little bit of excitement out of Bill Belichick.
Wow. The Patriots retooling. I'm surprised. I really am. I thought they were going to mail it in for a few years, get some draft picks, rebuild the team, but
Belichick doesn't want to do that. He's a winner. Why would you want to sit there and wait a couple more years for things to turn around when you can make the decision now?
I think what he realizes he can't do it on the cheap anymore. Right? You know what I'm saying? When you have and you need a guy like Tom Brady to facilitate that. You look at what he's done in Tampa. He just facilitated this again by re-signing to whatever his structured deal was. So that's, a little bit of a couple more free agents. One of my favorite guys, Kyle Juszczyk.
I knew you'd like him.
The 5-year, $27 million. The Juice, fullback, San Francisco, just a hard hitting. He's an old school type player. Yep. So he reminds me of Schlesinger back in the days, sort of the reverse Corey Schlesinger.
Kevin Zeitler, the former Giant, he goes to the Ravens. So lots of moving and shaking. And, of course, Wednesday is when the trade for Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff becomes official, because that is the first day of business in the NFL. March 17th, St. Patty's Day, free agency, and the contracts will then, they could announce the Lions have officially traded for Jared Goff, and he won't be QB1 anymore when they talk about him. he'll be Jared Goff officially on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So it'll be interesting what happens. So
we were waiting for our guest, Kevin Iole from Yahoo Sports. I'm still trying to get a hold of him. We want to talk some boxing with him. Marvin Hagler was, I know my audience is probably young listening to me, so I won't bore you too much, but as a boxing,
when it comes to Hagler, you talk about
no, but you have to talk
about
it. Because here in Detroit, right, the one thing that you'll always hear, Hagler Hearns, Hagler Hearns.
Matter of fact, we have
the
that video.
Tommy Hearns.
Play it, Adam, if you want to play Hagler Hearns when you get a minute, as we're talking here. And it's amazing. The fight, that round of boxing was one of the greatest rounds in all of boxing. Some people say it's the greatest 3 minutes in sports.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a furious battle between these two guys. And Marvin Hagler always looked like Adonis, but he always was the guy that you didn't like. You just didn't like him. You know, he's from Brockton, Mass. He was a tough guy. He didn't give you the media. He didn't give you the bullshit. He just told it like it is, and he just went and beat your ass.
But he was boxing, though. I mean, one of the great quotes from Hagler is, if you were to open up my brain and you were to open up my skull, you would find a boxing glove in there. Like, he was boxing all the time. And, obviously that split decision from Sugar Ray Leonard, that crushed him. And he was done after that. But you know what? When you look at his record, 67 fights, an insane amount of victories through KO. I think he has like 65 KO. He was an athlete, but better than that, he fought the legends of the sport. Roberto Duran, Tommy Hearns. I mean, the list goes on. Arguably one of the greatest of all time.
There's a book called The Four Kings. If you want to read about this great boxing era of the 80s, you can read about it. Duran, Leonard, Hagler, and Hearns. It was amazing. Boxing, let me tell you something. Boxing was unbelievably good when I was growing up.
That was the peak of boxing.
Unbelievably.
So here, let's break it down just a little bit, Maz, because this is sort of the heyday, and you relate it to where we have Art here, who is also the host of Art of Combat, which you can see here Mondays and Fridays, the episodes. Saturday nights when there's a big pay-per-view, like coming up on the 27th, Stipe Miocic and
Francis Ngannou,
which should be a fight. We'll be sitting right here. And one of the conversations that introducing me more into MMA and stuff is to listen to these guys and say the competition in this division is top to bottom is so good. Back in the 80s, Maz, when we talked about the fight, the division, the middleweights in boxing,
welterweight into middleweight.
What's that?
Welterweight into middleweight.
Which is what weight pound?
Like 100 in the 140s.
170 to 185.
So what is that in MMA? Is it the same weight?
170 to 185
So
in
who
MMA.
are we comparing? So compare Marvin Hagler, Leonard are the same size as which guys these days in MMA?
If you're 170 or welterweight, you're looking at like Tyrone Woodley. I want to say middleweight would be like an Israel Adesanya.
Okay.
With the weight classes of 170 and 185, they're different from in boxing. Boxing is completely different. They have so many different weight classes that's one thing that the UFC has done really well, is having not a 165 division. But with boxing, when you look back at that era in the 80s, and Al Michaels says it best, it didn't go very far, but it was a beauty when he's talking about Hearns and Hagler. Yeah. There's not many fights like that anymore. I mean, when you think about boxing and where it's at today compared to Hearns, Hagler, Leonard, there's not fights like that anymore.
No,
at least in the world of boxing. In MMA, there is two guys just in the middle of the octagon swinging. And boxing, it's rare. And I think that's why it was such a gem back in the day when Hagler was fighting, because it's like you're seeing a guy who's literally going out there, not only putting his body on the line, but his brain on the line. I mean, you're taking shots that 8 minutes of hell, basically.
So, Maz, let me ask you, what was the greatest strength and made the difference between the Tommy Hearns, the Marvin Haglers, and the Sugar Ray Leonards?
Well, I'll say it in front. I'm a Leonard guy. Love Sugar Ray. Loved them in the Olympics in '76, the greatest boxing team of all time. They brought home, I think, 5 gold medals at that time, and then he became a pro. I remember he used to fight with the picture of his wife on his boot. Juanita was her name. I remember all the great stories. But when Sugar Ray came up and became a welterweight champion, he beat Hearns, he beat Duran, he lost to Duran, then came back and beat him. And then when he fought Hagler, the first time they met in the press conference, Hagler was sitting there, Leonard was sitting there, and they thought they were going to fight. And all of a sudden, Leonard says, boy, what a great fight this is going to be. Unfortunately, it will never come true. It'll never come true. I'm retiring. He retired because he had a detached retina in his eye, and Hagler was stunned. He thought they were announcing the fight. Instead, Sugar Ray pulls the rug out from under him, and it became bad blood. So it took years later to get this super fight going. But then Hearns, I keep bringing up Hearns. Sugar Ray says, I need you to do a couple things. We got to go 15 rounds, not 12, and the ring has got to be 42, not 40. So Hagler's like, he'd rather fight 12 rounds, and he'd rather fight inside a smaller ring so he could beat you.
Shoebox. But
he said, all right, I'll let you do it. And what Sugar Ray did, he comes back from the layoff, dances around, gives him the old bolo punch a couple of times. I mean, he got under Hagler's skin so bad. And if you remember Rocky 1, when Mick told, it was Rocky 2, when Mick told him, you got to come out and you got to fight right-handed. But I can't fight right-handed, Mick. I'm a southpaw. He's like, you got to fight right-handed. You got to confuse him. And then he did confuse Apollo for a couple of rounds, but he took a beating.
Yeah.
I said Hearns again. Hagler fought opposite. He changed hands as well, and Leonard pounded the hell out of him and wound up winning a split decision. A lot of people didn't think it went that way. I watched it a million times. He won the fight. Leonard won the fight.
Hey, Maz,
he did.
Here's a fight that I want you to answer to right on the spot. Are you ever going to unblock Justin Spiro? He's asked over and over again. No. Okay.
No, and ask Justin Spiro, why'd you get blocked in the first place? Why don't you reach out to me,
there's a
Justin?
story. Okay, let's do a live read, everybody.
No, we're good. Yeah, go ahead. Do your live read.
Thank you. Justin, see what you got me into? Start a new career in an industry that is always essential. The heating and cooling industry. Learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu.
All right, we're back here.
Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys and ladies. This is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
What's up here, folks?
And
Let me
back.
fix my ears and look on that. Anyways, you're back here on the Hook, Woodward Sports, only Detroit, all digital network, joined by Art Smith, Tom Mazaway, Fish in the Fishbowl, Adam in the Sin Bin today. Pilar, you're missed at home. Obviously, no one's jealous about you doing this job. But we were coming out of the break, and Maz, because we were talking about the passing of marvelous Marvin Hagler, which I still think it's a kick that he changed his name to Marvelous Marvin
Just to
Hagler
stick it to you.
because people wouldn't announce his name as Marvelous, so that's how you get it done. And obviously his passing, and we're trying to get Kevin Iole on the as our guest, the Yahoo Sports writer. We're having some communication issues, but one of the things that I wanted to bring to you guys before I get to the Chic of the Spreads Hook of the Night, we've been mentioning these rookie cards and different things. I think we mentioned Tom Brady's went for $1 million, and then Kobe's went, and the digital one. Well,
lots of millions floating around for cards.
Anyways, to join the Rookie $1 Million Club, Rob Gronkowski's NFL card collection rakes in over 1.2 schmillion.
Yep.
Now, here's the thing, right? Okay, and the card industry and all this stuff is when I came in 93, like I think I got like 26 rookie cards or something like that. They had all the different O-Pee-Chee to Topps to Bowman to all this stuff, and then it sort of went away, right? And now it seems through COVID it's come back. Now you even have the digital up on the chain link and all this other stuff like that. What I'm saying, kids at home, okay? Yes, it's really cool to put them in your bikes and they go like this, but make sure you ask your dad first which ones you're allowed to put in there. D-Max, they're fine. Put them in there. They're worth like a quarter, right? The Wayne Gretzky ones like we did when we were a kid, no, you don't want to do that because they're worth a little bit more. But if you have collections, it might be a time that you go clean out the garage, clean out the attic, go to the storage unit, because it looks like, Maz, I haven't seen it, but that's 3 reports in the last 3 weeks of cards, and this is a collection, so I'm assuming it's a lot more than one.
Yeah.
But the fact that the value of these cards, I mean, it's crazy. So it definitely, guys, it might be worth looking through your old stuff.
There were 349 available.
Yeah.
All but one have sold out.
Yeah.
So does that mean that that's only one left of 349?
Well, and that's what's
I'm reading
interesting
the
about
Yahoo
all this
article.
is it's all on the blockchain, so it's all digitalized. So you could make more. What's interesting here is Patrick Mahomes is jumping in. He's going to be actually selling 6 different art pieces ranging from $2,500 to $15,000 and a mystery auction item with no set price. So he's jumping on board with adding to the NFT blockchain digital currency of stack cards. It's to me, I've thought about doing the Top Shot ones with the NBA because it's almost like a gamble. You could get a card that's worth little to nothing. You could get one that's worth thousands of dollars. Maz, have you put any thought into trying to get in on these auctions?
No, I am
Not at all?
No, not anymore. I'm sticking with the cards I have at home. I'm praying that they still come back. I'm praying my OJ rookie cards start coming up a little bit in value. But I got a great collection at home of baseball and
D-Mac
football.
doing? What are we doing
what do you
right
got there,
now?
Mac?
Well, I just drew a picture of art real quick.
How much is that worth?
Can anyone see that?
How do I? Hold on. This is important. Oh, wait, maybe I got to steer it. Can we see it? There we go. I just drew a picture of art, right? This one, I'll pay somebody to take. No, but there it is. So it's sort of like that. So
Yeah.
Mahomes, so D-Max goes for 5 cents right there.
Listen, I'll sign it right now and we'll put it up on on the auction chain. I see this going for at least $250.
There you
this
go.
Is, I mean, look at the resemblance.
$2.50 here, but you know what? It might be worth it, guys. I'm telling you, go look into even old collectibles, but this blockchain, and this ain't going away. Moments, memories, everything like that.
They're all signed.
I wish I had some memories maybe that I could use.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, maybe.
You could.
Anyways. All right, here it is, folks. Thanks for joining us here. Top of the hour. What do I have for you? Well, it is the chic of the spreads. Hook of the night. Now, Adam, who is so diligently working behind the ones and twos, handed this over. Now, guys, I want you to know I have relinquished because I realized what I'm good at. I'm going to stick to golf and NASCAR Wednesdays and Fridays, right? Art. You might not want to ever bet another MMA fight.
You're not
and Maz,
wrong.
you just stay hot, buddy. You
I
stay
am.
hot.
I'm on it.
And until then, if you're looking for the chic of the spreads, hook of the night, well, here are his 3 picks. We got the Charlotte Hornets to win on the money line, -160. All the data points towards the Hornets win. The Kings are 6-1 on the road this year. The Hornets are 11-8 at home and are a 3-game winning streak. I like it. Edmonton Oilers to win, money line -105. A tough matchup, but you've got to take the line in this one. I'll bet my money on Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl at -105 every night, which I have to concur, Adam. You cannot go wrong with the 2 best scorers in the NHL. And then finally put it, the Denver Nuggets take the 5 to cover. Nuggets favored against an East team by only 5 points. Free money, baby. Free money. When Adam says free money, it's free money. So take it every time. So that's the Charlotte Hornets, the Edmonton Oilers, and the Denver Nuggets to cover. Those are the chic of the spreads pick of the night.
All right. Maybe make some money on that. I got a couple of picks of my own that I'm saving for the end of the show.
You are?
I do.
Dude.
I think I got 2 winning. I think I got 2 beauties for you.
Actually, Maz, you know what, though? Like, seriously, you've done really, really well. Other than that one, you
had a
went
couple of
0-2
hiccups.
one day.
Wisconsin screwed me. You know, that's about it.
On the Costanza.
Yeah, on the Costanza
I like it.
flip-flop.
I like
But
it.
I got my sports update coming up for you here. Brought to you by MyBookie. As always, don't forget, they will match your first deposit up to 50% of your first $1,000. All you got to do is use the promo code Woodward to get it done. Michigan, Gonzaga, Illinois, and Baylor are your #1 seeds this year in the Big Dance. The Illini, the Big Ten tournament champion, they beat Ohio State, of course, over the weekend. How about Michigan? They will play the winner of Mount St. Mary's, Texas Southern, Those two teams will play on the play-in game on Thursday. Michigan gets the winner on Saturday. The Wolverines and Spartans could meet in the future in the Elite Eight. All they got to do is win a few games each. Michigan State is in a play-in game, folks. The winner will get the 11 seed and play BYU. First, MSU has got to beat UCLA on Thursday night. Couple of Big Ten coaching changes. Indiana fires Archie Miller. Minnesota parts with Richard Pitino. Jays on top of the Tigers in the ninth right now, 4-0 in Lakeland. The Yankees will be in town tomorrow. Opening day against the Tribe on Darren's birthday coming up on April 1st. Tigers option Joey Wentz, Alex Faedo, Bo Burrows, and Kyle Funkhauser. Funky to Triple-A Toledo. How about those Pistons on a 3-game losing streak? They host the Spurs tonight. San Antonio coming in at Little Caesars Arena, favored by 3.5. Drew Brees calls it a career. 42 years old. He retires from the Saints. 20 years in the NFL. 15 of them in New Orleans. He is the passing leader, over 80,000 yards. Second all-time and with touchdown passes at 571. He's a champion, of course, and he goes out 20 years to the date that the San Diego Chargers picked him in the second round. You know who he was backing up back then?
Billy Joe Tolliver.
No. Good guess, though.
Oh, dang, man.
Doug Flutie.
Flutie Flakes.
The two smallest
Flutie
quarterbacks
Flakes
on one team. And then he had shoulder surgery, and San Diego says, I don't think we're going to re-sign him. So New Orleans says, hey, come over here. Save us.
Hey, Baz,
save us.
Sorry to interrupt, but I got a question. So now the fact that Drew Brees retires, does it still make Chicago the destination for
what did I
Russell
say last
Wilson?
week?
Or do you think that he's more – because I think Sean Payton and Russell Wilson is like a Drew Brees 2.0, but even like what would Payton and him do having that relationship? But then Wilson's got the talent, the youth, the age – back of my mind, dude, I wonder if the Vegas, can we look on my bookie, see if the Vegas lines are up there
but
again?
New Orleans has to have enough to trade to get him.
The problem
Chicago does.
Right, and the problem with, too, is New Orleans cap struck.
But they have done a lot now to loosen the purse strings. They renegotiated Taysom Hill's contract. So they gave him a lot of bonus money and stuff like that. So they have flexibility now. They really do. So is the Bears.
So let me just ask you this: as Tom Mazaway during his Maz update, don't count the Saints out yet.
Don't count the Saints.
Don't count the
yet.
Saints out
Do
in
not.
the Russell Wilson sweepstakes yet, guys.
Two of the teams that he wanted to go to, and they're right there. NFL officially starts the season on Wednesday. That is when free agency starts, and all the deals that you've heard in the past will become official, including Jared Goff to the Lions. Romeo Okwara staying here in Detroit, 3 years, $39 million. How about Matthew Judon? He leaves Baltimore. Great pass rusher. He goes to the Patriots. Patriots also get Jonnu Smith, big tight end, 4 years, $50 million. And this just in, Jamal Agnew
I was going to break that on you.
The Lions.
No!
For the
I was going to break that on you, but he got paid.
Get worse. He got paid. 3 years, $21 million.
Good for him.
For him. And I loved Agnew. I wish they could have kept him. And on this, we'll talk about that. And on this day in sports, we go back to, I hope, Adam, I'm not sure if you have this. This is Loyola of Chicago and Miami today in 2018. Let's hear the call of his leg.
A defensive gem by Williamson. At the line this season.
Here we go.
First free throws today. Missed it. Here they come. One timeout, they don't take it.
Oh, Sister Jane.
Sister Jean.
Sister Jean. Which, Maz, what does that go to tell you, boys and girls out there? Even though I didn't play basketball, but you can always practice your free throws. Free throw, and that comes into how many times during this tournament that we're going to come into, does it come down to the wire, where it's the foul game, or it's the free throw game? How many times, what's the over-under of how many March Madness moments are we going to see this year? Because that right there, and Sister Jean, you remember the nun or whatever that pushed them to...
They went again. They took Michigan State. They gave them everything they had against the Spartans, and the Spartans took them down and made it to the Final Four. But how about they're in the same bracket as Illinois? So all they got to do is beat Georgia Tech, upset at 8-9. Georgia Tech and Loyola of Chicago play. Illinois plays Drexel. That's going to be easy. They'll beat the Dragons, no problem. But Loyola of Chicago, the Ramblers against the Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech. And then Sister Jean might have a date, Illinois against Loyola of Chicago. That would be a great in-city battle. That would be fun. And there's a lot of call. Dan Wessel wrote something today on Yahoo Sports. He says the NCAA better do everything they can to go and get Sister Jean, put her in a bubble, and get her to this game. She needs to be out in front of us again. That was a phenomenal run, and God bless her. She is still looking as good as always. So good luck to Loyola of Chicago going forward and Sister Jean.
I love it. I love it. Looking good there. Now, you mentioned Jamal Agnew.
Yeah.
Right?
Wish we could have kept him, man.
Return
I don't know why
I don't
know why they don't keep him.
No, I mean, it's obviously direction and stuff like that, and that's a guy that I think you think about that. You always want to look back on guys that have played their career here and they've moved on, but he gave everything he had. It'll be interesting. I'm going to ask Joique Bell. Remind me to ask Joique about him.
Yeah, because that was actually Joique Bell's Call of Duty buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he's not going to be too happy, and Joique will join us in about 30 minutes from now, a little bit less, actually.
Absolutely. Now, Maz, have you had a chance to look over this first round of the pool?
I did. I already did my bracket. I did my David Hall bracket.
You did?
Yeah. I probably can go over it with you. Let me see, but I could tell you who I have.
Before we get to that, though, Adam has Russell Wilson odds if we want to go over that real quick, because we had just discussed that. Adam, what are the odds? Where's Russell Wilson landing?
Plus 2,000 to go to the New Orleans Saints, Maz. Those are his odds.
How about the Bears? Anything on the Bears?
Plus 200.
Oh, my God.
Big difference.
That's a huge difference.
Russell Wilson to the Saints for plus 2,000, though.
All you got to do is put $100 on it.
Listen, Art, if you put the $10 that I give you the last 2 weeks, if you would have saved, I would have been happy to put that $10.
Then don't ask me for picks if you don't like the results, because they're always going to suck. You're welcome.
Art, I do that because I have to even things out. I can't just be pro. I bring you in. Exactly. See, I'm not used to losing in anything in life, so that's why I keep you around.
Well, hey, I'm your beautiful loser.
Yeah, absolutely. My beautiful loser. Yes, you're wondering why Art Smith's up here on the panel today. It's because he sucks so bad I needed him close to my left.
Hey, listen, you just want to be close to me. I get it.
It is.
Hey, I got Michigan, Illinois in the final.
Okay.
I know. Hey, you're the homer. I'm taking Michigan. I'm sticking with them. I'm going for it.
Hey,
Michigan,
Adam, you
Illinois.
know what? That was minus 2,000 on if Maz had Michigan and 2 Big Ten teams in the finals. That's where we at. As
hey,
far
9
as
Big
that.
Ten teams made it, and I said at least 2 will be in the Final Four. I'm sticking with it.
All right.
I like Ohio State to win some games. I do.
You know what we're gonna do right now, guys?
What's that?
You know what? In honor of Pilar.
What's that?
I'm doing it because I don't speak Spanish. I speak Canadian, so I'm going to say, I got a deal or no deal for you, eh? Hey, deal or no deal. You ready, Art?
Let's do it.
All right. I don't know if you noticed this or not over the weekend, but you got to keep up with your TMZ hot facts. Did you see J-Rod broke up?
I did.
J-Lo and A-Rod, but I want you to know, because I was breaking news, so anybody who's worried, it's not officially broke up. I guess they're just taking some time
Taking
apart.
a step back.
Although I loved Alex Rodriguez has tweeted a picture of him alone on a sailboat, asking, hey, what's everybody doing this weekend? You know, like stuff like,
You know what he called it? A sail fee, because he was on a sailboat.
Wow, it's no wonder he's going to be single forever.
Anyway, so
supposedly he's hitting on some Instagram.
I'm joking.
I know, but come on.
No, but did anybody? So in all reality, is this shock anybody?
You are the biggest A-Rod. Like he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He's my favorite. I get it.
No, I didn't say that. I said you got J-Lo. What do you go to some freaking Instagram girl for? You got J-Lo.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's be honest. J-Lo music-wise peaked about 15 years ago.
No. You're wrong.
No?
Oh,
My Love Don't Cost a Thing is still in your rotation,
We're not
Maz?
even talking about her music, are we?
No, I wasn't.
I mean,
No, but if you had an Instagram celebrity or J-Lo who's past her peak, I mean,
Oh,
Instagram
my.
celebrity.
Did Art Smith just say J-Lo was past her peak? Oh, my
She's
God.
not
She's
peaking
one of the
right now.
finest.
Tell me when the last time you heard J-Lo on the radio and like, wow, that's a great hot new song.
Whoever said we're talking about J-Lo for her music, you
Listen,
idiot.
Her love don't cost a thing, and neither does her music. They're giving it away for free because it sucks.
Dude,
Put him in the box.
Hey.
Adam, come out here.
Listen, no,
Get in
but
the
I mean,
box.
he's talking about singing. I'm just like J-Lo is one of the finest, has aged very well.
Better. She looks better now than she's ever looked.
She's better looking than A-Rod for sure.
Who has aged better, Mariah Carey or J-Lo?
J-Lo, 1,000,000%.
Okay, but
Tell me somebody who's aged better than J-Lo.
Cher.
What?
Cher's like 100. Yeah, she
And
has.
she looks 30. You're welcome.
No,
She is a piece of plastic.
See, I
though.
disagree.
J-Lo is all
I
natural.
disagree. I think J-Lo has aged better than Cher, even though Cher hasn't aged.
But the fact that you're debating it-
So my question to you, deal or no deal, they stay broke up.
Deal. If it's public already, it's done. It's over with. There's no way that they keep
Mavs?
it together.
I say they'll be back together.
Not a boy,
I
Maz.
do.
He's a true romantic,
I
that
do.
Tom Mazaway.
I do.
That explains a lot.
They're gonna come
Here
back.
to Darren, the counselor, on his boys on the show right here, right now.
The
Anyways,
fact that you guys bit the bullet on Cher, that you guys were actually debating if Cher was better looking than J-Lo, I'm done.
Hey,
I can go home.
Did you guys catch any of the...
wait, hey, you know what? Like, he brought up, but you can't. So you brought up Cher just as making a joke?
No, I think
you
Cher's
cannot.
I
Now
think
you're going to
Cher-
bring some ire
I think Cher
into the Cher
is
dome.
more beautiful than J-Lo. That's just my personal.
Okay, good for you.
She's aged beautifully.
Did you guys watch the Grammys last night at all?
No.
No? Neither one of you?
No.
How about you, Adam? Did you watch the... You didn't either?
Fish, you watch Grammys?
Doesn't anyone give a damn?
Yeah, I watched it.
All right, hey, ladies and gentlemen, give me the Sam Fisher minute or less update on the Grammys.
Go for it.
Was it any good?
If you like music, if you like all different types
gotta
of
swim
music,
while you're
that's
doing
the
it.
one. If you like all sorts of type of music, then you're in the right place. But if you're not a music person,
no.
then obviously you're not going to
What
like
was the
it.
best performance of the night?
Bruno Mars. Hands
Yeah,
down.
Bruno Mars was
Oh,
pretty
you
good.
watched it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Oh,
I love the
what
Grammys.
did you say? Really?
Yeah.
Because everybody was boycotting the Grammys.
I know. I
The
don't
Weeknd
like...
boycotted because he didn't get
Right, I
nominated.
like The Weeknd, and I wish he was in it. And I
What was that, T-Mac? What was that?
I don't know. It's my Monday weekend.
I don't know. I thought Taylor Swift was good. Obviously, she
Of
won.
course
She
she
won
did.
Album of the Year. Billie Eilish
Oh,
won
let me guess.
Record
Was
of the Year.
it another album about how bad her boyfriends were? Can
Yep.
we have 5 more albums of those, please?
Yeah. Anyway, she did a great job performing. Bruno Mars was fantastic. You know, representing James Brown. They looked like a bunch of 70s guys. They had the
Bruno
leisure
Mars is
suits
the
on.
man.
They had those big collars on. They looked great. Dua Lipa is beautiful.
Lipa.
Dua Lipa's beautiful. I love her. Whatever. Dua
Oh,
Lipa.
dude,
Dua
I,
Lipa.
no, wait.
Whatever.
Wait,
I don't give
hold
a
on,
damn what you
didn't-
call her. She's beautiful. And she's
I
good.
didn't know who it
looking.
was till you're right, exactly.
Whatever.
Don't worry about it, Maz. I'm glad that some.
Hold on, I want to talk sports with you and see how many guys you mispronounce.
No,
Okay.
I won't pronounce
Okay,
it. I
good.
won't make myself look like an idiot.
Okay,
It's fine.
good. That's fine. I didn't think I made myself look like an idiot. It's Dua
I'm
Lipa.
joking,
Who
Maz.
cares? Who
Just
gives a
another
damn?
stressful Monday.
Damn it.
Anyways, guys, I want you to look at me right now. I want you to concentrate. I'm going to go side to side. And why am I doing that? Because every day is game day. In March, look your best through all the madness. Check out the newest Lady Jane's on the corner of Grand River and Whitmore Lake Road in Brighton, or our Grand Blanc location on Saginaw Street next to AutoZone. Let one of Lady Jane's award-winning stylists treat you like a king, just like Alyssa does for me. Yeah, Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome. Get it. Hey, Adam, I don't know if you know this or not, but after the live reads, we're doing commercial breaks, but
whoa.
Try it again, Matt's ready? There we go.
Morning, Art. Morning, D-Mac.
No,
Hey, you're
next
back on.
time. Next time. Oh, I told you rollerblades and
And we're
skates are the
back.
same thing,
Listen,
right?
I'm down.
Yes, we're back. Sorry, Art and I were just talking because he said I hit him from behind, and I said no. Only one number was looking. That was not
You
quite a
definitely
Lemieux
cross-checked
thing.
him.
Listen,
It's
bring
okay.
up olives again, and I'm gonna.
Hey,
cuff you?
did you give him a bad beats today?
No, I haven't done the bad beats yet. You want to see him right now?
I would
you want
love
to see
to.
a hockey fight?
I would love to.
Adam, will you pull up D-Max? Let's do it right now. D-Max bad beats, because I brought this one up for Art and Pilar. If you're watching at home,
We're
this
taking
is
a beating, so we
what-
might as well play this.
Who's taking a beating?
Nothing. Go ahead.
ADD radio.
Don't turn
All right, what do we
There
got,
we
D-Mac?
go.
What do we got?
So watch this. If you want to see a drop dead, one of the greatest hockey fights of all time, this is a punch in the face contest right here. Now, if you count these things, I'm going to show you probably later in the week the Proby Ty Domi fight.
Yes.
But as these are what we call punch in the face contests, where two guys, it's like Rock'em Sock'em robots, right? So Tasker and Sen. Now, you don't even understand how tiring it is to keep throwing punches, and that's more of exhaustion than it is anything else.
Where was that fight?
In the minors.
That was like an old school Don Fry pride fight. Seriously, just hold each other and punch, and whoever gives up first.
Grapes?
It's the definition of heart.
Grapes would be proud of you for playing that one.
That was old Rock'em Sock'em,
Don Cherry would love
old
that.
school punch in the face contest. I thought was due here for this Monday afternoon. Do you want me to talk about my teammates right now too?
Do whatever, man.
You wanna go into that one?
Sounds good.
Oh, who we got today, Mats?
We got a guy that I love, former #1 draft pick of the New Jersey Devils, traded to the Detroit Red Wings, Brendan Shanahan, number 14.
Number 14, Brendan Shanahan, also known as Shan Diggity. To ladies and gentlemen out there, I want you to know that the three biggest moves to get us over the hump in the 96-97 season was the trade. First of all, the trade of Paul Coffey and Keith Primo to the Hartford Whalers for Brendan Shanahan. And I remember Brendan Shanahan came in. He got traded and he came in. We were playing the LA Kings that night. Came into the dressing room. I remember Martin Lapointe and myself were like, because here's the one thing, right? Where Dino Cicerelli did such a great job teaching Martin Lapointe and I into the league and stuff like this. But what Shanny came in and sort of showed us how to be power forwards, how to pick your spots and different things like that. And, you know, when I compare, you look at championship teams and you look at our championship teams, you do comparables. I do comparables to other sports, to sports that we have here. Who is your Brendan Shanahan moving forward in the next 3-4 years? Well, to me, it's that Anthony Mantha. But the Brendan Shanahan, which we go back and I'll bring it up from on March 26th, a week from Friday. It's a 24-year anniversary. But if you've seen the Russian 5 documentary, before the sweet revenge, before the game where I got revenge and scored the winning goal, there was nothing ever said between anybody except for what I said to Drapes when I got him out of the hospital, and it's, I will take care of this, and where do you want to eat? That's another story. But the fact that Shanny said that we all knew something was going to happen, and without Brendan Shanahan breaking Adam Foote's arms from my from the grip, I would not have been able to get Claude Lemieux, let alone Maz, without the tic-tac-toe from Igor Larionov to Brendan Shanahan to Darren McCarty for the overtime winner. Those are all great things. But here, my favorite memory, you'll love this. It's 98. I've got 2 Clintons and 2 Bushes. And what do you say by that? I visited the White House for 2 Clinton presidencies and 2 Bush presidencies. Nice. So in 98, for the second Clinton presidency, we were on the tarmac in Washington waiting to get the best part we look forward to every time is because you'd take a bus from the airport and you'd have the police escort right to the White House, and you'd just be flying through town, you know what I mean? Like everything's blocked off, and it was cool. But we were waiting for some of the escorts to come up, and some of the police guys on the bikes with the sidecar were from Michigan. So they let me and Shanny get in the sidecar, and we took it around the friggin', I took it for a spin, laying it out on the tarmac and stuff. Awesome. So I have a picture that he had. One of the things, it's from Shanny, him sitting in the sidecar and me sitting on the thing. But, you know, the one thing, Brendan Shanahan, I'll leave you with this. You can look in my book, My Last Fight, True Story of a Hockey Rock Star. People ask me, did I ever get any backlash from anything I said in my book? And there was only one time, and it was from Shanny. And it's because Shanny had to explain to his 11-year-old son why he would stretch naked in the room, right? And I had to preface this with, as you had roommates, and he wouldn't do it while you were in there, but you come back and he would be there doing stretches and half the time would be in the nude for whatever reason. Maybe
It was a brotherhood.
It was, but it wasn't when you were there.
Right.
You'd walk in and go, what the, like
Was he
this.
the only one that did that?
Well, because you just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the only one that I room with that I walked in and went, what the fuck? What are you doing, bro? But that's it. That's what it is. One of the greatest teammates, one of the greatest power forwards. I think it's one, you look at what he's doing now. And also, too, here's a caveat. So with the Lemieux thing, right? Sorry, Mouse. I got 4 minutes for roughing, 10-minute misconduct, stayed in the game, scored the overtime winner. I said to Shanahan in 2013, as we were playing the Outdoor Winter Classic game at Comerica Park, he was doing the disciplinary for the league at the time. And I said to him, Shanahan, that thing I got back into, you were involved back in, 97. Would you have suspended me? He looks at me and he says, I would have given you 10 to 15 games. I wouldn't have overseen the knee.
Wow.
And I'm like, thanks, bud. You were in it. So it's a good
damned.
thing. That just means, guys, I'm doing the math, and inflation means I'd be paying to play today, even though I tell Coach Blashill I got one shift left in me.
Hey, man.
So that's Brendan Shanahan, one of my guys, and definitely the brotherhood to this day. And you know what? Good luck to him. He's the president of the Toronto Maple Leafs. If anybody can bring them back to the glory days, he can.
Hypothetical question. You say you've got one game left in you.
Yeah.
Who would be the team that you would play? And I think I know the answer to this, but who would you want to play against one more time? It has to be current. So they grab you right now. They'd obviously put you in a Wings jersey.
Yeah, right now I don't have an answer to that.
No?
Because if you're just saving it for, right, you have to save it for somebody who really deserves it.
Oh.
Right? Because
That's a good
here's
answer.
the thing, Art. We all know, right? I got like a good 25 seconds, right? Just a blast. So it's coming hard, it's coming healthy, and I hate to see who it is.
Yeah.
Because it's over and done with real quick. Because it's to make a point. It's not about the appearance. It's about the effect. So
No. I'm saying in a game.
I know.
If you,
I am too. I'm saying I'm coming off the bench to get somebody.
Yeah.
Right?
So
it's going to be, there's no dance, there's no drama, there's nothing. It's me, so that person has to really, so I'm saving that because I don't believe that the Wings have that person yet. That's what happens when you get closer to your goal of being a champion. Right. So we're just going to keep that in the back pocket.
Hey, my buddy Jeff Hall from AT&T, he wants to know, ask D-Mac if he and Shanny did a game show together.
We did. Teammates back in ESPN, and this was great because I remember shooting it because it was with Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, Swing Cash, and I forget who else was part of that WNBA team. But yeah, it was one of those old ESPN shows, and we
that's cool.
We did it. So I'm sure you can find it in the Googler.
Hey, I was devastated when he left the Devils, when he was the #1 pick. The name of the arena the Devils used to play in was Brendan Byrne Arena. That was the governor in New Jersey to get us, the Giants, to come to town, to open up the Meadowlands racetrack and just open up the arena. And then, of course, he moved on, but they named it the Brendan Byrne Arena. It was later changed to the Continental Airlines Arena, but I digress. We used to call it Brendan Shanahan Arena until he left us. And you know what? The Devils were the laughingstock back then in the early 80s. Wayne Gretzky called them Mickey Mouse organization. I remember we all wore Mickey Mouse ears to the game the next time we played him when he came in with the Kings, first with the Oilers, then with the Kings. And, hey, they've done all right since. They beat us. Without them, I wouldn't have 4 cups. They didn't beat us in 95. They taught you.
But
you know what I felt? The only thing I felt bad about, that was like one of my first years here in Michigan. And here I am covering the Red Wings. And
cheering for the Devils.
And I'm cheering for the Devils. This is the only time ever.
Oh, man, if I would have known that, Maz, I would have told Scotty back then, and then you wouldn't have been Scotty's boy.
Scotty
he would have
me.
rode your arse the whole time.
But I love Slava Fetisov, and it broke my heart when the Devils were doing that handshake with you guys, and they had to shake hands with Slava. And who knew if he was ever going to win a Stanley Cup? He did. He won a few.
No, but that's a great point, Maz, because if you go through and you look back through the hand, you could see how much he meant to those guys, too.
They loved him.
In hindsight, right, you look at that. I implore people to go look at the handshake line, and you look at the film of Slava Fetisov, even in the Russian 5, embracing his former teammates, because that is a premonition of what to come would happen with ours and the influence Slava Fetisov would have in our locker room. This is at the beginning, so when we lost in 95, so the 90s or 95, so 96, 97, 98 hadn't happened yet. But it was going to happen. So that's like, I'm going to actually go back and look at that because it makes it go well.
That's awesome. We're expecting Joique Bell to come up here momentarily. Before that, let's tell you about Hall Financial. If you feel good about your interest rate because it's in the 3s, well, get over it. Hall Financial can get you in the 2s. Be smart and make the call because you could be saving money and years on your loan. Hall Financial is fast. They do all the heavy lifting for you. So get with it. DavidHallMortgage.com to get started. Hall Financial, lower payments, better options, more personal attention. Tell them that Maz sent you.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Thanks
And
for
we're back.
Thanks for joining us here on The Hook. Darren McCarty, Art Smith to my left, Tom Masway to my right, fishing the fishbowl. Adam working the cameras today. We were just talking about Brendan Shanahan, about if I would have told Scotty how much Maz was cheering for the Devils back in 95, he never would have been at Scotty's. Okay, Pilar's not here. Will you do your Scotty Bowman impression because you don't want to swear in front of her?
Yeah,
for everybody?
I guess I could.
Oh, but the
Come on.
swear jar is still a thing. I
Don't
mean,
worry
I have to
about it.
hold that accountable.
Scotty used to this.
Time out. Art, you bring up another one of Baligian and Bell's.
It's a 3-show thing. It goes for more. Don't do it. Don't. How dare you?
Go ahead, Maz.
How dare you?
See, we'll show you how things are run between 3 and 5 here. Maz, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So Scotty Bowman, obviously, if everyone watched The Mad Professor, he'd be behind the bench. He'd always have a cup of ice, fresh ice. Whose job was it to keep that cup filled? Was it Boyer?
Boyer's job.
It was Paul Boyer, the equipment manager. Still there.
Couldn't sharpen skates, but could put ice in the cup.
He wasn't a very good skate sharpener?
What's that?
He wasn't a good skate sharpener?
At times.
Okay, at times.
He had his moments.
Did he have his favorites?
Anyways. Did he have his favorites? Well, you know what? Like I couldn't skate, so I would argue that it was always him. I had to blame him. Of course, he's a professional skate sharpener. As he was good.
Just busting your balls.
No, I'm busting my own balls because I couldn't skate. It wasn't Paul Boyer's fault. It was my own fault.
Anyway, he'd have a cup back there, a styrofoam cup, and it would have ice in it, and he would just take the ice and pop it in his mouth. You know, cocksucker. He'd just be talking to himself, motherfucker, shit. Hey, Dvorsky, you cocksucker. Hey, you missed that call over there. Hey, Dvorsky. Son of a bitch. You missed that call back over there. Okay, Matt, go ahead in. Go ahead.
But the funny thing is, Matt, is that how would the referees or whatever react? Because they wouldn't even pay.
No, they wouldn't pay attention to him.
It was like almost ignored him.
Yeah,
and
they ignored him. Right? He would just do his thing.
With the refs, did you ever ask any of the referees about dealing with Scotty or anything about what they would say?
I don't think we did. I don't think we did.
No? Oh, that's all right. We were talking a lot free agency going on with the Lions. Obviously, Romeo Okwara being re-signed, Drew Brees retiring, a lot of free agent signings out there. Was busting Art's balls on how bad he picks MMA, even though there's a huge fight card coming up in a couple weeks.
Yes, and you will get absolutely this many picks from me, Adam, if you could put the camera on me so you could see how many picks I'm going to be given.
Look at Art and the wine. Yeah.
I'm not giving any more picks. Listen,
you haven't given any yet?
No, and I'm not going to give you any
No,
good ones
you
or bad
haven't
ones.
given any. Will you start giving picks? Because you haven't given any picks.
No. No.
So he's going to be consistent.
At least he's consistent.
He's mad at you for throwing the glass.
No,
the
listen,
cups.
hey, I don't pay for the glass, so I don't give a shit. And if we're swearing on here, then fuck it. We can swear as much as we want. All that I'm saying is that when it comes to MMA, I've never been an expert at making picks. I got forced the hand. I gave you my picks that didn't work. You got to start crying about it. What can I tell you?
You're going to start crying about it. That's what you do. But
No,
I said, why don't you try to pick a winner?
Because, listen, it's MMA. It's unpredictable.
So there's
Everybody
the thing.
thought Conor McGregor was going to be the triple champ forever. It's not going to happen. I don't know what to tell you. It's not NASCAR to where they turn left and you can predict when they're going to turn left next. I don't know what to tell you.
No, but break it down. Why?
Break it down.
It's the most
why?
unpredictable. Like, okay,
it really
guys,
is. Yeah.
we're going to be serious for a minute.
Yeah.
MMA is the most unpredictable. It's not. So when I'm busting Art's chops about doing this, I like the bets that he makes because you're betting on the odds Okay. Break down how you've lost.
Okay.
You haven't lost because somebody walks out and gets whammed.
No,
no,
they've been
you've
close.
walked out
They've been
because somebody's game plan has been better, because a judge decided that by a hair. So defend yourself because you can't be. I'm not going to allow you to be the art of combat and the MMA guy and to sit here and whine.
Right? No. But I'm also not going to be the guy that's 0 for 20 when it comes to picks. I'll just stop picking because here's the thing: no one predicted that Holly Holm was going to knock out Ronda Rousey. That's the stuff that happens in MMA.
But the difference is it can happen at any time.
Yeah.
So if you're going to take a flyer on something, it's if somebody has a chance. And what you are able to point out is why this would happen. What I implore you to do, Art, it's not about picking right or wrong or whatever, because that's up to them.
Mm-hmm.
What it is when you make your bets, like when I asked you, why do you like this? Why do you like this? How does this play out? Because going into it, if it plays out game plan the way that you see it, right, as we've seen it, right, how many times Poirier, right, your reaction, right, on the live feed, watching it, because boom, you didn't, even though we thought that could happen, still, when it happens. So the point is that you're never gonna, trying to, if you wanted to, you hit your fight the other night. Did we not say EG would win?
Yeah,
right. So
EG
here's
would
the
win.
thing,
Yeah.
right? One of the fights, which I'm telling you, so you're credited with, is the fact that we talked about, and I said my favorite fight on this card is Dan Ige, right? And you said yes. Hit that bet.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, when it comes down to it, I've got picks for this Friday, which I'll share on Friday. I'll continue to share those picks, but what you have to understand is it's fighting. It's not, with hockey, it's not, oh, you've got 15 great players, they're all going to perform well. When it comes to the world of mixed martial arts, it's so unpredictable. Shanna Dobson was an 800 underdog. She ends up knocking out ground and pound style in the second round. You can't predict these things.
Which is exactly like you could say if she hits her, but I don't think she's gonna, went the wrong way, didn't see it. Anyways, without further ado, let me introduce the leader of the Bell and Baligian show from 11 to 1. And before you yell at me, Joique, I know I had to get Art as close as I could here. He hasn't raised his hand. Fish has been swimming in the fish bowl, so we're all good. How you doing today, Joique?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know what?
Just to correct you, Sean is the leader. I'm robbing. I'm robbing on the Bell show. I'm robbing.
I meant leader in, it's you and I that have to keep Art in check. That's what I'm saying. You're the leader of making sure that there's accountability with Mr. Smith. That's what we were just getting to.
Hey, Joique, some signings today. Romeo Okwara. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm talking over you. Go ahead. Say what you were going to say.
No, I was just saying, what's up to Artemis?
What's up, Joique? Hope you're doing well. I like your office.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah.
Go ahead, Baz.
The Lions had some signings today. Romeo Okwara, he's staying put. He gets a nice contract extension. With the 10 sacks last year, 4 forced fumbles, 3 years, $39 million. He is staying. Jamal Agnew, your buddy, is shipping out of town. He's going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we just heard Jalen Reeves-Maybin is staying. 1 year, $2.3 million guaranteed. So Maybin staying and Romeo Okwara staying, but we say goodbye to Jamal Agnew. What do you got on those guys, man?
Yeah, so Jamal, I was actually texting Jamal right before I came on the show,
told him congrats, much deserved, great guy. And, he said, appreciate it, big bro. It'll be a great move for me. So I'm excited for him. Sad to see him go, but as we alluded to earlier through our group chat, that I don't think we could afford to keep him. I don't think we could afford. So I'm glad he was able to go somewhere where he can get what he deserves. As far as Romeo Okwara, I like the pick, even though we had a historically bad defensive year last year. He was one of the bright spots. I mean, like you said, he had 10 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and a lot of people don't know this, but he was top 5 in quarterback pressure. So for defensive linemen coming out at his position right now are getting paid roughly around 15 to 16 million in that ballpark. So we kind of got a steal with Romeo. And so next year, his brother should be healthy. Julius should be healthy next year. So a little bit skinnier, might be able to bend a little bit more, come off the edge. So I think those were some good picks that we was able to keep him and at that price.
Talking to Joique Bell, co-host of the Baligian and Bell show. So Joique, just because, we've talked about it a little bit, but being you yourself, being an alumni and a former player, of being invited down and to talk with the Coach Campbell and Sheila Ford Hamp and stuff like this. As a fan, I want to know do you as a player see, some sort of change or difference, or what am I looking forward to going into free agency this year as opposed to in years past?
I think it's all hands on deck. So from my sources I have with the Lions organization is that the approach that Brett Holmes is making, the approach that he's doing or taking is more of an interactive approach where he's involving everyone that's in the facility, which is great. I don't think they had that in the past with Bob Quinn. Also, after speaking with Ms. Ford Hemp, that she's going to be in those meetings, kind of learning the process and seeing what that thought process is going forward. And I think we have a lot of great minds there, even from the scouting department to the coaching staff. I love it that they have no ego and they're willing to take advice from everyone in the facility. And so one thing I kind of picked up is that Brad Holmes, he's asking everyone about, do you like this guy? Do you like this guy? If so, why do you like him? And he's doing that and he's taking into consideration. So he's making everyone feel like they're part of the process. And I think that's great to have that type of culture where people in the facility can feel their importance.
Hey, a couple other guys on the move today, and I'm not sure if you had a chance to read it. Jonnu Smith, former tight end for the Titans, he goes to the Patriots. Aaron Jones staying with the Packers. And Matthew Judon leaving Baltimore, big pass rusher. He signs with the Patriots as well. It looks like the Patriots aren't done either. It looks like they're retooling and getting ready to go here, Joique.
Yeah, actually, I haven't seen that. The only sign that I've seen that the Patriots made so far is resigning Cam. But even with that being said, that doesn't mean they won't go after a quarterback in the draft or bring some more competition to that quarterback position. And so right now, I'm still looking at all the different picks that we had. I mean, we had 18 unrestricted free agents with the Lions, and right now I think we got 2 of those people signed out of that 18. I mean, so I'm just trying to see everything all the moves we make today. So.
One of the things that I wanted to ask you, Joique, because you spent a little time in New Orleans and Drew Brees retired today. Just any of your thoughts about either playing against him, being down there, 20 years to the day that he was drafted. I think that's pretty cool in sports and stuff. Just wanted your thoughts because your opinion is always valid, especially when you know these guys.
Yeah. Drew Brees is one of those guys that when I went down there and I played for them, he was a quarterback that you wanted to play for. He had that swagginess that you want to see in your quarterback. Whenever he was on the field, you always felt like your team could win, no matter what the outcome of the game might have been. You always felt like you were in the game with a quarterback like that. I actually spoke with him briefly yesterday. Told him, congratulations on a heck of a season. Now, welcome to the other side. He texted me back, thanks, Joique. He appreciated it. So it's great to see people like that get the respect that they deserve. And one of the best quarterbacks, if not, I've played with in my lifetime.
How was that Saints organization overall? I mean, you've been to a few organizations. Obviously, you know, we loved you here in Detroit. Compare how they did things here in Detroit and how they do things in New Orleans.
As far as the organization standpoint, or as far as the team?
Organization.
Well, all right, so the organization down there is different. So their fan base down there is our fan base here in Detroit is I love them, best fan base in my book. And down there it's different though. So when Katrina hit, you had a lot of the players in the team. They went out to the community. They helped build homes for some of the people who lost their homes. They opened up the Superdome for families to come in during Katrina. And down there, it was more so their family. Like the whole organization, it was just a family. It was just a family-oriented thing. I can't explain it. It was different from any other team I've ever played for. And I actually, outside of Detroit, that was my second favorite place to be. The city was great. It was a different feel. And from the front office with, at the time, GM Mickey, I mean, we had some good conversations when I was there. Sean Payton, one of the best coaches I've had, even though he could never say my name correctly. Hey, Joique, come to my office. I want to talk to you. Come in here, Joique.
Joique.
And so, but honestly, I enjoyed my time there. Teammates, the team was amazing. It was a great year. It was a great year for me.
I think that's a good point, Joique. I want to elaborate from there, being as Dan Campbell was a coach there. And in hockey and stuff like this, I always look for, does the guy have history? Does he know the coaches? Has he played for him down the line? In football, and especially into this Lions team as we're entering free agency and stuff like that, does that matter in football locker room also?
As far as what?
Well, like having familiarity with former players. You know, see Tyrell Williams come in, and he's, you know, Anthony Lynn's coached him before. As different guys that might want, should we read something into it if a guy has maybe played in New Orleans before and they show up here, or has history with some of the coaching staff? Does that matter in the locker room from the football standpoint? In the hockey locker room, it does.
Yeah, it does. It does, seriously. So what happens is you have these guys who come in who has NFL experience, who play ball, so they understand what you're going through on the field, and so you have a little bit more respect for them than a coach who's never played the game before. I mean, and not saying that you don't respect them, but it's more of a body of work. I've seen your body of work. I know what you're capable of. You've been in my shoes before, and I know you know what you're talking about. It's kind of like your mom telling you something, you know. It's like your mom telling you something, and you, okay, you know, go take a shower. Okay, Mom, I'll take a shower. You don't take a shower. Then you go to school, you see that cute girl. You say, "Ooh, you kind of stink." You're gonna go home and take a shower. And so, what a coach is telling you, hey, when you run this play, this worked for me. All right, this worked for me, because there's some things on the field that a coach can't see. You have to experience it. And so, you have coaches who can come in who can experience certain things you're going through on the field and even off the field. You have a little bit more respect, and you kind of key in on what they're saying more than probably a coach who's never played the game before.
Hey, another Lion has left the den. Jared Davis gets a 1-year deal to go play for Robert Saleh and the New York Jets. So Jared Davis, former #1 pick, that's just another one that's left the den. What did you think about him, Joique? And do you think he could maybe be a better linebacker or be the guy we thought he could be?
Yeah, I think he'll be put in a better position. I honestly thought with the new defensive scheme we're bringing in, I thought he would have been a perfect fit to kind of see where he was. I know with my sources, a lot of the coaches liked him, so it was surprised when I saw him leave to go to the Jets.
Chris Mortensen has said, by the way, we always like talking draft and who teams are going to take. Mortensen says if quarterback Zach Wilson from BYU checks all the boxes, and he does, the Jets will take him with the #2 pick in the draft. So I'm telling you, the Lions sitting at 7. Quarterbacks are going to be flying off the board in this top 7 picks. Do you think they keep that pick? Do you think they trade it? Do you think they keep it and take a quarterback at 7?
Depends who's there. I don't know how Coach Campbell feels about Trey Lance. I know he went to his pro day. I haven't heard anything come out about how he feels about Trey Lance. That might be for good reasoning. He might really like the kid, So it depends on what they feel. Do we need a quarterback right now? Do we want to bring in a quarterback? Do we want to bring in a wide receiver? Do we want to trade? Do we want to trade back and get more picks? I don't know. I would have to see. I would have to get his take on how he felt about Trey Lance. If he really loved Trey Lance, because it's been well documented that he likes mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And right now we don't have a mobile quarterback. And so with a guy like Trey Lance in this draft, it doesn't get more mobile than a quarterback like him in this draft. So we have to see the next press conference he does, and someone asks him about Trey Lance.
Hey, how was it last week for you to go back to Allen Park and be a member of the media almost? Tell us about your experience last week.
Yeah, so that was at Ford Field. They had a coaches luncheon where they invited 3 former players, and then we met with the whole coaching staff. We met with Miss Sheila Ford Hemp. We met with Rob Wood, and we met with some more people who worked around the Ford Field facility. And it was more like a Q&A with them asking us, how was our time here playing in Detroit? Why did we want to stay in Detroit once we finished our career? And we just kind of went down the line, and we just it was more of a networking and getting a feel for the new coaching staff. But it was great. I was able to sit down and talk with Ms. Warham for about 10 to 15 minutes. I was able to talk to Mr. Rob Wood. I was able to talk to a few coaches and kind of see what their heads were. And so I thought some information with Brad Holmes. So I'll be in contact with him as well. So, great people. They were all excited to be here. Bruce Staley told me he was happy and excited to be here. And those are the type of people we want here working for our franchise.
Did you get to meet Deuce Staley at all?
You just said that.
Yeah.
My headphones are going in and out. My apologies. My headphones are going out.
Hey,
Maz, you gotta raise your hand now.
Joy, Maz just said that if you didn't break the earphone thing, he would have been able to hear. That's
I don't know how you deal with
talking
this.
about.
I have no idea how you deal with those headphones.
But I heard Deuce Staley. My question to as a former player, is there anybody out there in free agency or anybody that you think would fit well in this organization? Because I think you nailed it as far as saying the coaches that are here are going to make the biggest impact because they have playing experience. So when they say it, they've done it. But is there anybody out there you think would be a good line?
Yeah. So for me, I'm a firm believer in what Brad Holmes says, is that we need to build through the draft. So there's a lot of people in the draft that I would like to see come here. Free agency would be more so people that we'll have here with leadership who can help guide the young guys that we bring in. But honestly, I'm a firm believer we have to build this thing through the draft.
Art Smith's here. Hey, Art Smith, do you have a question for Mr. Joique Bell?
I just have one question for you, Mr. Joique Bell. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. Are you going to be on time tomorrow? That's all that I got.
Hey, guys, thanks for having me.
You know what? I apologize for that. I thought I would allow him. It's your you get to make a wish right off for that by answering Art's question and whatever.
I'll see you tomorrow, best friend.
You come in whenever you want, brother. But we appreciate your time and your knowledge as always.
And we feel your pain.
Yep.
Even more so than on a regular day.
How do you guys get Art on the show? You guys must be scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Listen, you get the best first. They won't get me tomorrow.
There's nobody else in here. Poor Fish is running back and forth between the radio and everything else. I didn't realize Art whined this much, bro. He is a whiner, eh?
I'm out.
How do you do that? Look at, hey, it's tough to be, and he's from Flint. And he's from Flint, too.
No, Holly.
Oh, he's from Holly. That makes sense.
It's even worse.
Well, that makes sense. All right, Joique, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, that's Joique Bell. Baligian and Bell, you can catch him. All right, Fish. Yes, finally, a professional. We got Sam Fisher on the table now. Perfect. This will be perfect for when we come back. We are going to take a break. You got to no, you're going to. All right. So I guess we're not. But when we come back, we're going to take a break. And
it's like musical chairs.
Well, musical chair. These guys are running in and out. No one seems to decide where to go. But we're going to take a break and come back with our picks of the night. Sound good, man?
I like that.
All right,
Ounce at
Fish.
Michigan dispensaries is over $300. Why pay that when you can grow your own? With just one light, you can pull down over 48 ounces every harvest. Do that math and then come see us at Grow Green, where we have everything you need to start growing and a staff of master growers to help guide you. Click growgreenmi.com.
Thanks for joining us today on The Hook, and we almost made it here. Tom Mazaway, Sam the Fish Fisher, Adam in the Fishbowl, Art back where he belongs, in the sin bin, and he's never been more comfortable.
He's not happy with you right now.
What?
He's not happy with us
I don't really
right
give
now.
a shit, man.
I think it went to hell when you threw the mugs on the floor.
You know what, Maz? I can throw. You know what? That's not even. I haven't even started. Wait, computers are here. All this other stuff. Then here's the thing. Then the 3 to 5 show, The Hook. Don't bring other shit on it.
Okay.
Okay. You
Sounds
remember?
good.
You mind that if you're doing other shows and stuff.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, Fish. What do you got for me tonight? You got a pick of the night?
Yeah.
What do you got?
I'm going hockey. I'm going
Wait,
American.
whoa.
I know.
All right.
I'm going American hockey. Knights over Sharks.
Knights over Sharks. That would be the
American
Las
hockey.
Vegas Knights over the San Jose Sharks. Adam, we got the chic of the spreads picks right now. I will remind you, Charlotte Hornets money line to win.
Let's hear his voice.
Edmonton Oilers money line to win. Denver Nuggets to cover the spread. Do you have anything else, Adam?
You guys want one more?
You
give you the
usually
Spurs.
have one in the barrel. It's
Yeah,
not like
I got one.
It's not like I'm pulling teeth asking Art for something. It's usually you have.
No. I got one. I always bet against Detroit sports teams, so I'm betting against the Pistons tonight. I'll take the Spurs.
All right.
Spurs minus 3.5.
I'll take them to cover, or I'll take them to win. Either one makes me happy.
Well,
Whichever
anyone
line
could
is more friendly.
Anybody could take the visitor at the Pistons to win, but are you laying the spread? That's the question.
I will take the Spurs to cover 3.5 points.
Okay. I got a couple for you. I got
Maz?
a couple NBA.
Listen to these ones because he's been pretty good.
I've got the Wizards tonight at home getting 9 from the Milwaukee Bucks. I am taking the Wizards straight up plus the 9, and I love the Warriors revenge game against the Lakers. Warriors are home underdogs getting 2.5. So I bet them straight, both of them. Bet the Warriors straight. Bet the Warriors on their own. Bet the Wizards on their own, and make a little parlay with the points, Wizards and the Warriors. That's my pick. That's my take it to the bank from my bookie.
All right, you got something?
No, actually.
Adam stole yours, didn't he?
Yeah,
I knew you
we'll
were
go with that.
because you
Yep.
got it written down right next to your picture here.
Yep.
You were going to take the Spurs. He does have that, so I don't know if they're cheating, but whatever it is, I am going with the Dallas Mavericks straight up, home dog plus 106 on the money line. Take them to the bank.
Sounds good, my man.
Sounds good. So far, so good. So, Maz, I'm going to recap here as we get ready, as everybody should, because Art Smith brought up the best point. Spend 5 minutes to try to win $500,000 on your mortgage or other great prizes, TVs, gift certificates,
Shinola
of toilets, all that.
Pizza for a year.
We're giving you Tom Mazaway's final twosome, Michigan, Illinois, which would place the 2 number 1 seeds together.
Correct.
Feel free to use it. Maz is a prognosticator. But if you want to choose something else, now's the time to do it. When do the picks have to be in, Maz?
I would think by Thursday when the playing games start, if I'm not mistaken.
And then Fish, you were saying something that 6 p.m. Tuesday is when the bubble teams...
Yeah, it's the deadline for the new teams coming in.
For
or
the
old
bubble,
teams
for the
coming out.
NBA, because this right here, folks, stay tuned. We'll have more tomorrow on it, but it might not be...
All these teams. There are 4 teams waiting in the wings. You got Louisville, Colorado State, St. Louis, and Ole Miss. Those are your 4 teams that are on the bubble waiting for another team to have a COVID episode. If they do, they're out, and one of these guys will go in order.
But it's gotta be
Louisville,
Tuesday
Colorado
by
State,
6.
St. Louis, and Ole Miss.
If it's Tuesday at 7, they can't go in.
Then they're done, and
they're finished.
Do you agree with that? Do you like that as far as like the drop dead cutoff?
I don't know about the drop dead cutoff. I mean, I guess you have to.
But once you start, That's it, right?
Yeah, you can't put a team in the Elite Eight if a team drops out. You can't pick one of these teams and throw them in the Elite Eight. So there has to be a cutoff before they start playing. So, yeah, I agree with it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, though, because I bet you we're going to have this conversation about that's too bad. You know, what if? Because if one of these teams does get sick or something like that, hopefully they have the contingency plan. But I don't want to sit here and go, oh, what if? But the opportunity to do it, you never know. Which also makes maybe the numbers, let's see, maybe that number 12 UC Santa Barbara will come clean.
Hey, Adam, I want to ask you something. Out of all of these teams, all these number ones, do you have a number one winning the tournament, first of all?
I'm not going to reveal that yet.
Mum's the word. That's the quietest I've seen. The chic of the spread. That, to me, Maz, I'm going to say that no, he doesn't.
He doesn't have a number one winning it.
You got your bracket pick finished, Fish?
I didn't do a bracket yet.
You didn't do a bracket yet. You got till...
My daughters have done it. My wife has done it.
Did you finish yours? Do you have a number one seed winning? Okay. All right. So I don't. They do. Who knows?
Did you do your bracket, D-Mac?
I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it yet, but I do have a couple ideas of who I want.
I'm in 6 pools. I'm like probably in 20 bracket pools. I go all out for these things. This is fun.
I'm going to be honest with you and everybody out there, is that until Art brought up a great point that 5 minutes could change your life, I probably wouldn't have filled it out. But thank you, Arthur, for that. On behalf of Art Smith, Adam, the chic of the spread, this is Fish out of the aquarium, and yes, he's fine. He can breathe. Tom Mazaway, Pilar, we missed you. We tried our best. Hurry back soon. I'm Darren McCarty. This was The Hook. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us, guys.